to your favorite band in Miami.
Boom. Now you're talking.
Earn up to a $600 bonus when you open an eligible checking account and complete qualifying activities. Additional restrictions apply. Visit oldnational.com/checking. Offer valid through October 30th, 2026. Member FDIC.
Step up to the plate at Fair Oaks Ford and Fair Oaks Lincoln, where every deal is a fair ball. Here's our winning game plan. Good, better, best. Good, a full lineup of vehicles ready to get you out on the road. Better, pricing that hits a home run without striking out your budget. Best, the Fair Oaks experience, where every visit feels like a grand slam. Swing by today and see why Fair Oaks Ford and Fair Oaks Lincoln in Naperville are the MVPs of Chicagoland dealerships.
After the final out, head to New Lenox. The Summer Concert Series brings world-class live music to the Village Commons all summer long. From Cubs Radio to the stage, get tickets now at newlenox.net/concerts.
Today's veteran of the game is James T. Dockery from Betancourt, Iowa, who served in the United States Army. Thank you for your service. Sponsored by JeffBuysYourHouse.com, veteran-led and trusted since 2007. Cubs Twins at Wrigley Field. This is the Cubs Radio pregame show driven by your Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana Buick and GMC dealers. In our Cubs conversation, Ian Happ has been with the Cubs longer than anyone else currently on the team. He joined the Cubs in 2017, so Happ understands better than anyone else how special the 2016 group will forever be.
I was just special to get to play with those guys. To come up with a group that had won not only in 16 but in 15 and had kind of back-to-back years of winning. It was all those guys. It was the camaraderie of the group. I was really fortunate to get to benefit from being with them when people thanked them walking around the city for everything they had done. And it was a really special time to be a Cub and to be a part of the organization.
Can you put into words what you learned that helped shape the big leaguer that you eventually became?
Yeah, I think I learned a lot from individual players on that team. There's so many winners on that team that went about it the right way, so I definitely learned from a lot of those guys. But I think also, you learn how important winning is to this city and to this fan base and how much they appreciate it. And then we did a lot of winning after that. We in 17 and 18 and those teams and, learning kind of what it takes as a group to be a part of a winning culture.
And then you became the core of the new Cubs, and you have a good team now. Do you allow yourself to think of what it would be like to be a champion in this city?
Certainly. If you're not thinking about that and you're not dreaming or envisioning yourself on a bus going through the city on a parade, I don't think you're here for the right reason. So I've been thinking about that for 10 years now.
With this team, are you surprised that as a group you guys have been able to be where you're at to start things now, considering everything you had to navigate throughout the first half of the season?
I wouldn't say surprised. I think we've been through a lot. I think certainly the injuries and kind of weathering the storm on those, all the faith in the world in this group and what we're capable of. And I think it's a testament just to the guys in the room and how professional the group is, that not letting any of it phase us and still playing great baseball through the first half.
Thank you so much, Ian.
Yep, thank you.
Ian Happ and the Cubs start play with a record of 54-42, 12 games above 500 as we speak. The top wildcard team in the National League, just 5 back of first place Milwaukee in the NL Central. During this Twin Series, the 50-50 raffle will feature a guaranteed $75,000 jackpot. Fans in Illinois can purchase tickets at cubs.com/raffle or from a raffle ambassador here at Wrigley Field through the 8th inning of each game, now through the end of Sunday's game. Coming up, the Manager Show, next on The Score and the Northwestern Medicine Cubs Radio Network.
Celebrating 10 years since the curse was broken and the Cubs became world champions here on the Cubs Radio Network.
Want to rethink what's possible? How about being an investor? Not just in your future, but in the future. Well, it all starts with Invesco QQQ. For more than 25 years, this single ETF has given investors a direct line to the NASDAQ 100. That's 100 leading innovators behind advances in personal tech, science, and robotics, just to name a few. And you can access it all with Invesco QQQ. Let's rethink possibility. Invesco QQQ is the proud ETF partner of the Chicago Cubs.
There are risks when investing in ETFs, including possible loss of money. ETFs risks are similar to those of stocks. Investments in the sector are subject to greater risk and more volatility than more diversified investments. The NASDAQ 100 Index comprises the 100 largest non-financial companies on the NASDAQ. You can't invest directly into an index. Before investing, consider the fund's investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses. Visit Invesco.com for a prospectus containing this information. Read it carefully before investing. Invesco is not affiliated with the Chicago Cubs. Invesco Distributors, Inc.
It's a known fact that dogs can hear frequencies too high-pitched for human ears. So Tito's Handmade Vodka made this message just for them. That was us telling all the dogs that Tito's partners with thousands of animal nonprofits to help with vet care, adoptions, and more. The dogs liked that. They also liked it when we asked, "Who's a very good dog?" Tito's, the vodka for dog people. Distilled and bottled by 5th Generation Inc., Austin, Texas. 40% alcohol by volume. Savor responsibly.
From supply lists to shoe shopping to juggling all the schedules, getting ready for back to school isn't exactly magical. Luckily, the Great Clips app kinda is. With just a few taps, you can find a salon near you. Tap check-in when you're ready, and you can get a message when it's your turn. Oh, and the savings? You won't believe them. So when it's time for back-to-school haircuts, tap into the magic of the Great Clips app and make at least some of your stress disappear. Great Clips. It's gonna be great.
Surround yourself in color with Regal Select from Benjamin Moore. Rich, durable, and effortlessly beautiful. Find yours at your locally owned retailer. Visit BenjaminMoore.com today.
Cubs Twins at Wrigley Field. Time now to hear from manager Craig Counsell. Brought to you by Fruity Rainbow 5-Hour Energy. Sip the fruity, candy-coated chaos. Counsell and the Cubs in good position as the second half of the season gets underway.
Everybody's, grateful and thankful for a break, and excited to, get back to doing what we're doing. And, I think we've put ourselves in a decent position. I think we, I use the word, calloused ourselves in the first half in terms of went through some tough times, went through some good times, built up some resiliency. And now, it's just go play baseball and try to play good baseball. And that's a day-to-day thing. It's not as much as you want to talk about the big picture. It becomes what's in front of us today. And that's what we'll try to do. And we get to start it out against the Twins in Wrigley.
I know you don't like talking about the big picture, but you are going to get certain guys back that should help the big picture. Do you agree?
I think we eventually. I don't think it's in the near term. Other than Tyon, who anticipate pitching in the Detroit series, I don't think we're near term getting players back. So, and I think the bulk of this, frankly, is going to happen later in August. So I still think, that part of the team, when you're saying we're getting guys back, it just means nothing has happened to the guys that are healthy right now, and we're getting a day closer to that. That's how I see that, and that's a good thing. That's absolutely a good thing. But in terms of those guys coming back, I do think we're a ways away from most of them coming back.
There were certain guys that got hot near the end of the first half of the season. Do you see them being able to take off here in the second half?
Well, I don't think what happened in Cincinnati means anything for what's going to happen this weekend. But I do think Alex Bregman's going to play better in the second half because he's a really good hitter. I think Nico's going to have a really good second half because I think he's a good player. So those are the two guys that kind of stick out for me on the offensive side of it. I think Pete's going to be challenged to have the same second half as the same first half because he was great in the first half, and he's done pretty amazing things. So he's going to be challenged to be that good again. But that's the nature of this thing. I think offensively we've shown that. We have a lot of different guys that can be major contributors night to night, and I think that's what we need to continue to be a good offensive team.
Give me your take on the Twins. They're the team you have to take on first here this weekend.
Well, I think that there's been a surprise to a lot of people, and it's mainly because their offense has been excellent. This is a very good offensive baseball team, especially against right-handed pitching. We're going to have Collins got a real challenge ahead of them because maybe not Buxton is hurt right now, so maybe not star power, but they've got some players and Clemens and Larnick and Jeffers who have been absolutely outstanding at the plate this year.
This is a special weekend at Wrigley Field for the organization, given the fact that they're honoring the 2016 team. From your perspective, do you embrace that? Do you want your group to embrace everything that comes with it?
Well, what that team accomplished should be celebrated and should be remembered, and we should always do that because that was a special team. And look, I think when you're on a team that wins the World Series, you're always a teacher for people, and you're always an example for people, and you should be because you were a team that got to the top of the mountain. And then the 2016 team did it in they were super talented, but they also did it in a very unique way. And I think that's what makes their story and what made them so connected to the city of Chicago.
Craig, thank you. Good luck this weekend.
Thanks, Zach.
Today's Tito's Handmade Vodka Canine of the Game is Lenny, a 9-year-old English bulldog from Aurora. If the Northside team strikes out 9 players, Tito's will make a $100 donation to Paws Chicago. When we come back, the pick to perform next on The Score and the Northwestern Medicine Cubs Radio Network.
Hey Cubs fans, it's Alex Bregman. Listen to every game here on the Chicago Cubs Radio Network.
Whether you're starting college for the first time, finishing the degree you began years ago, or ready to take the next step with a graduate program, NLU means business. At National Louis University, our business programs are designed to fit your goals, your schedule, and your future. With flexible options, expert faculty, and career-focused learning. Join us at an upcoming open house and discover where a business degree can take you. NLU means...
During the offseason of 1888 to 1889, Spalding took a group of big leaguers on the first worldwide barnstorming tour.
This is Spalding.
Yes,
you look at the Spalding, you're like, wait a second, now this is the backstory. Okay, this is great.
Stops included New Zealand, Italy, France, and even Egypt, where they played in front of the pyramids. Spalding's contributions to baseball history don't end there.
Do you know the story of Doubleday and the invention of baseball?
Please
tell us.
Enlighten us.
When a 71-year-old Cooperstown native came forward, baseball officially had a birthplace in Cooperstown.
If I'm in the presence of this baseball, does it give you powers to become a better baseball player?
I've been here 5 years and playing baseball through all of it. I don't think I've gotten better.
And whether it's the World Series or the wonders of the ancient world, there's no debating that baseball connects us all.
Go to baseballhall.org to plan your visit to the National Baseball Hall of Fame and Museum in Cooperstown, New York, and catch every episode of Hall of Fame Connections on MLB.tv.
Pat Murphy going to use an ace up his sleeve and bring in Christian Yelich with a tying run aboard at third base. Fly ball to deep right! It is way back and gone! Yelich delivers in the clutch. It's his first career pinch hit home run, and he left nothing in the tank.
My God, how far did that go?
Grounded right side, heading toward the plate, and look at Kendall! Is he safe? Ho ho ho! How about that play? What a job by Kendall! Do you believe that one?
How about that leap over Hernandez, who had stretched out to take the throw?
That is unbelievable. Watch Kendall again.
1 run over 5 innings. Now let's pause for the national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight. O'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the light that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Jackie Dustin performing the national anthem tonight here at Wrigley Field. As we approach the top of the hour, let's pause 10 seconds for stations to identify themselves on the score in the Northwestern Medicine Cubs Radio Network.
Covering the Cubs and all of Chicago's teams on the score. Middays with Rahimi Harrison Grody, 10 to 2 on 104.3 The Score, WSCR, WSCR FM, and HD1 Chicago.
It's time for baseball at Wrigley Field. Cubs, Twins, Pat, Ron, next on the score and the Northwestern Medicine Cubs Radio Network.
Cubs Talk with Mully and Haw. Mornings 5:30 to 10 on 104.3 The Score.
The Heat and Frost Insulators and Illinois Regional Insulation Contractors want to remind you that fire stopping saves lives. If your commercial building, manufacturing, or industrial facility was recently under construction or rehabbed, you'll want to make sure your fireproofing is up to date. Certified and skilled insulation technicians will install fire stop systems that comply with national flame and temperature ratings. For a list of skilled Illinois Regional Insulation Contractors, visit local17insulators.com.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-8.
Jake McCarthy with his second inside the park home run this year. What a touch 'em all time to start this one.
The Nemo bouncer up the middle gets Langford to the plate, and the Rangers take the finale 6-5 over Houston.
Third homer of the series. Add another leadoff homer to the tally for James Wood. Now 10 of them on the year.
He swings, hits a drive, deep center field. Way back it goes. It is gone. Another one. The show starts right away on the first pitch. His 33rd career leadoff home run.
10 strikeouts for the third consecutive game for Zach Wheeler. His 26th double-digit strikeout game.
There's another ball. It scoots over near the Phillies dugout, and this ball is going to it stays on the lip. And Schmidt's going to try to come home. Nobody's covering. Oh, my goodness. The New York Mets flat fell asleep. No one covered home. I have never in my life seen that.
David Peterson on to pitch. Jacob Marcy loses the bat, which hits the netting and stays right there. How about that? Wow.
Clanked it, hit him in the head, and oh no. That could be a home run. That is a home run, almost Canseco style.
Hey, Willie, you can do whatever you like, but I really don't think you want to do it this way.
No, Raymond is fishing for trout, apparently, there.
Oh, DJ Kitty has now entered the picture with Raymond, and the standoff is over.
Puedes ser el dueño de grandes momentos del béisbol. MLB Auction te...
The oldest brewery in America. And now, here's the Hall of Famer, Pat Hughes, and All-Star Ron Coomer, with all the exciting play-by-play action of Chicago Cubs baseball.
Chicago Cubs baseball is on the air from Wrigley Field in Chicago. It's time for Game 1 of this 3-game weekend series between the Chicago Cubs and the Minnesota Twins. Good evening, everybody. Along with former Cub and All-Star Ron Coomer, it's Pat Hughes reporting. Zach Zaidman working alongside, and so is our excellent engineer, Paul Zerang. It's a warm summer night. It's cloudy, but it's dry. 83 degrees as we get ready for the first pitch. Starting pitchers are right-handers Colin Ray for the Cubs and Bailey Ober starting for Minnesota. Let's go ahead and get right to the starting lineups for tonight's game, brought to you by Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm. Leading off for the visitors from the Twin Cities, Trevor Larnach in left field. Ryan Jeffers catching. Josh Bell is the designated hitter. Cody Clemens, Rogers' son, is batting fourth and playing second base. Royce Lewis at first base. The Twins' third baseman batting sixth is Brooks Lee. Alan Roden in right field. Luke Keyshaw in center. And Tristan Gray plays shortstop and bats ninth for the Minnesota Twins. For the Chicago Cubs, who begin the post-All-Star break portion of the season, 12 games over 500 and 5 games behind Milwaukee in this National League Central Division. Here's the way they'll line up tonight. Pete Crow Armstrong, the All-Star, in center field. Seiya Suzuki in right field. Michael Busch at first base. Alex Bregman is the cleanup man. Bregman at third base. Ian Happ.
All your favorite games from MLB Play are back. Bigger, bolder, and better than ever. Test your skills with daily puzzles like MLB Pickle, the Ultimate Mystery Player Challenge, and Immaculate Grip, where stats and strategy collide. Then in Spinball, build your roster, take on your friends, and compete for the weekly prize. Or be the first to beat the streak and hit your way to the $5.6 million jackpot. Plus, the all-new Daily Walk-Off. Lock in your players by category for the walk-off win. The game's official home for games is MLB Play. Only on the MLB app and MLB.com.
The first thing people realize is the history of Montgomery, and that history is real. So while that history is in the past, it also helps us move forward in a positive way.
Just like a lot of other of the 120 minor league teams, the baseball is not what we do, right? The Tampa Bay Rays do a phenomenal job of sending amazing athletes here, and we let them handle the baseball, and we handle everything outside the line.
Got him with a high fastball, and the bat goes flying.
Dangerous projectile going towards the dugout.
Whoa! That's a rally shoe closet.
Pickoff play at second. That does go into center field, and Bowers on his way to third.
Ball was tagged on a line. The slowest runner in the big leagues. He's going to get there.
Kirk was giving everything he had right there.
Yeah, it was enough.
Riley Green looking to add on and maybe take a lead. Riley Green, fly ball right center field. This one's deep. Watch it fly. Gone. How about it? Riley Green's first of the postseason delivers a 4-3 lead for the Tigers in the sixth.
Wow, just stayed on that breaking ball. Man, did he hammer that thing. That was 3/4 of the way up those seats out there in right center field.
No push of the season.
Ron, I know that we've had some air quality issues in the Chicagoland area. In fact, all over the Midwest, Detroit, and even on the East Coast, New York and other cities. I'm very happy to report that the air quality is good. It has improved significantly from yesterday.
It really has. I got back in town during the break yesterday, and the downtown area was really bad. It was not good. We got a little bit of rain in the downtown area, just running little pop-up storms, and I think the same thing around here. And all of a sudden, it just cleared out the air, and it is much, much better than it was yesterday.
83 degrees at Wrigley. Game time temperature sponsored by Four Seasons. Your trusted local experts for heating, air conditioning, plumbing, sewer, and electric. And the first pitch of the game from Colin Ray is in there for a strike, and away we go. Trevor Larnach is a left-handed batter, hitting .289. Minnesota 1 game below the 500 mark. And the next offering low and inside, the Cubs 12 above. But Ron, as you think about Colin Ray facing one of your former teams, the Minnesota Twins, what's on your mind?
Well, I just think for Colin, he's the back and forth and command of his fastball. You know, that's always the key for him is command of his fastball and pitching ahead in the count. When you're not an overpowering strikeout guy, I think command is big, and I think that's big for Colin Ray.
2 balls and a strike on the left-handed batting Larnach. Inside ball 3. Cubs wearing the City Connect Friday outfits. Powder blue shirts. Red numbers on their backs. Bright white trousers. White and blue caps. The 3-1. And that's going to be outside for ball 4. So Colin Ray begins the night on an ominous note, walking the first batter, and it brings up Ryan Jeffers.
It's game time, and that makes it the perfect time for a Flight by Yuengling. Just 2.6 carbs, 95 calories, and packed with flavor. Flight's the next generation of light beer. The oldest brewery in America. Look for Flight wherever you buy beer. It's a good night for Flight. It's warm here at Wrigley.
Ball will carry, Ron. Ryan Jeffers, the batter. He'll take low for ball 1. The Twins in their traveling unis, the gray shirts and trousers. The rest is red numbers, sleeves, socks. They have dark blue hats. Now the 1-0 pitch from Ray to Jeffers. Swing and a miss. Good off-speed delivery. 1-1. Uniform description sponsored by Benjamin Moore. On the field or the walls of your home, the right team and colors make all the difference. Official paint of the Chicago Cubs, Benjamin Moore. Now the 1-1 from the right-hander Colin Ray. Right down the middle for a called strike, 1-2. What do you like here, Rob?
You got to like the off-speed pitch now. I think Jeffers is up in the air on what he's going to get. Ray kind of stole the strike with that fastball.
Jeffers a .292 hitter. Ground ball toward short. Swanson shovels the ball to Horner. There's one. Over to first, not in time. They get the lead man on the 6-4 fielder's choice. Kind of a check swing ground ball off the bat of Jeffers.
Yeah, and that's that changeup that he threw, and it's down. Jeffers fooled by it. And, he's probably fortunate that he just hit this ball as hard as he did.
Yeah.
Because it really, it looks like a routine double play, but it wasn't hit hard enough to really get the second out.
Larnach out on the 6-4 play at second. Jeffers takes over on the fielder's choice. And Josh Bell, the former Pirate and former Washington National, will take a strike. Bell hitting .248, but he's always dangerous. 13 home runs. He's driven in 60. Switch hitter batting left-handed. Takes down low, 1-1.
First inning is powered by Invesco QQQ. Let's rethink possibility. Invesco Distributors Incorporated.
Bell in open stance as a left-handed batter. The pitch hit high in the air, a pop fly, foul, racing over toward the stands is Bregman. Does he have a play? No. He ran about 90 feet. He was playing over near the shortstop position. He raced over into foul ground, leaned over the railing, but it was out of his range by about 10 feet.
Yeah, tonight's going to be one of those nights, with the wind. Looks like there's not a lot of wind, first of all, which is rare for Wrigley Field. And what wind there is blowing, it's blowing out towards left field.
The 1-2 ground ball, diving backhand stopped by Bush. From his knees, throws to second, they get one. And the throw to first not in time. What a play by Michael Bush. He was holding the runner. He had to dive to the inside of the diamond. He was on the infield grass when he made that play. And from his knee, threw the ball down to second for a 3-6 fielder's choice. Good play.
Yeah, great play by Michael laying out. This is not an easy catch as this ball is right at grass height. And he sprawls out to make the catch. And it's always good when you're playing your hometown team like Michael is. They have the first play go well. I was getting some stories from some of our old friends from Minnesota about Michael Bush earlier today.
Michael grew up right there in the Twin Cities, I believe, right?
That's right, yeah.
Now the 0-1 to Clemens. And Cody Clemens, the son of the great right-hander Roger Clemens, fouls it away. Clemens has power, 16 home runs. He's driven in 46. Average 243.
Having a good year. Talking to the Twins people, they plus his leadership qualities are outstanding in the clubhouse.
The 0-2 pitch fouled back near our booth. And that is out of our range. We don't get many balls in the booth here. In fact, I can't remember the last one we got inside our booth here at Wrigley.
I think for 13 years now, I think I've caught 2 balls that have come into the booth.
Now the next pitch by Colin Ray is outside to Clemens, left-handed batter.
Defensive alignment sponsored by Fitzgerald Equipment, material handling handled. Learn more at FitzgeraldEquipment.com. Everybody playing deep here on a warm night at Wrigley.
Swing and a miss, strike 3. Ray strikes out Clemens. Twins get a leadoff walk from Larnach, but no runs. They leave 1 after a half. Twins nothing. Cubs coming up on The Score and the Northwestern Medicine Cubs Radio Network.
The Cubs play here on 104.3 The Score and the Northwestern Medicine Cubs Radio.
So these is MLB Network talent stars.
Okay.
The stars of MLB Network. Can I trade a pack of these for a signed Lawrence Shahadi card?
How about we do a little bit of both? Money, a little trade.
Will you open it up and see if you like it?
They're really nice.
If I sign it, does that equal the Lawrence Shahadi 20?
All right.
Do we have a good trade?
We have a good trade. Thank you so much. That was fun.
Nice doing business with you.
Te encantan los jugadores. Te encanta el juego.
¡Y se fue!
Ahora puedes ser el dueño de grandes momentos del béisbol. MLB Auction te permite participar en la subasta de bates, bolas, jerseys autografiados y más, con artículos de tus equipos de grandes ligas favoritos, leyendas y jugadores agregados toda la temporada. Cada artículo es autenticado por MLB para asegurar que lo que llega directamente a tu hogar es original. ¿Quieres una parte del juego? Visita auctions.mlb.com.
After 12 months, regular rates apply.
Every team needs a closer. Injured? Dial Pound Law. Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm.
Proud partner of the Chicago Cubs. Morgan & Morgan, 332 South Michigan Avenue, Chicago.
Pete Crow Armstrong leads it off for the Cubs. Cubs leadoff man presented by Benny's Beverage Depot as Bailey Ober. Ober will deliver his first pitch outside to PCA. Pete had a base hit in the All-Star game on Tuesday night in Philadelphia, and he'll take outside. The count now 2-0. If Pete gets a base hit here, Benny's Beverage Depot donates $200 to service dog charities. If you can't find it at Benny's, it's probably not worth drinking. The 2-0 pitch is a strike. Ron, I know you've done the homework on Bailey Ober, the right-hander for the Twins. What's the Cubs' plan?
Well, I think the big key is you got to understand the velocity of Ober. He's not a hard thrower.
Check swing, taken for a strike, 2-2.
That last four-seam fastball, 88 miles an hour. He's going to be around 88 with the fastball. To me, the key, he's got a very good changeup and really likes his changeup. You've got to make sure you're getting the ball up in the zone. If you see the ball up, go on the attack. If the ball is down, that's where you're chasing his out pitch.
The big right-hander, 6 wins and 3 losses for the year. No score, bottom of the first, the 2-2. Taken high for ball 3. Ober's ERA 4.40. So when you see that kind of an ERA, you know he's had some good games and quite possibly a few bad ones as well. Now the 3-2. Fouled away by Pete on a changeup. He tried to wait as long as he could before swinging.
Yeah, Ober's going to be a guy to the left-handed hitters is really going to pitch backwards. You're going to see a lot of off-speed pitches in hitters' counts, a lot of change-ups in particular.
The next pitch popped up left side foul. Ranging over is Lee, coming in Larnach, but it's well back out of play down the left field line. The umpires for this ball game, Bruce Dreckman calling balls and strikes, Nate Tomlinson at first, James Jean at second, and the third base umpire is Mark Wegner. Full count on PCA. He takes ball 4. Cubs have a man on. Do you think he might be trying to steal right away?
I would think so. We'll see how Ober is to home plate. But Ober is a guy, Pat, he's 6'9". Usually, guys that are real tall like that end up being slow to the plate. So with that being said, we'll have to see if he slide steps with Pete at first base. If he does not, I would anticipate Pete trying to take second base.
Seiya Suzuki, the batter. He's running right away. The pitch swung on and missed. Throw to second. They'll never get him. It was a one-hop throw, but Pete had an enormous jump from first and steals second with a head-first slide.
Stolen bases by the Cubs. They're sponsored by Atturo. Chicago's hometown tire. Get called safe with Atturo tires. Find yours at Atturo.com, and that's exactly what we talked about. Even though Ober tried to slide step, it's still not quick to the plate. Pete stole the bag easily.
Let's see if the Cubs can get on the board here in the first. Seiya Suzuki waiting, taking down low 1-1. Seiya, 48 runs batted in, hitting .268. Ron, you played many years in the big leagues and in professional ball in general. Here comes the 1-1 from Ober. Check swing, it's outside. What's that first game like, or what was it like for you after the All-Star break every year?
Very different kind of game. You really, you feel like a little bit of a fish out of water. You haven't played in days, which you're not accustomed to doing. You're used to playing, having one day off maybe, and then that's it, and then you play. I thought it was important during the break to play some catch. And, for me, I swung a golf club just to keep swinging, and so I'd play some golf. But it's very odd, that first game back, like trying to get back into your rhythm of the normal game day.
Outside, it's 3-1. Great crowd at Wrigley, and they came to make some noise tonight, it feels like. Here's the 3-1. Low ball 4. And now back-to-back walks to begin the inning. There's got to be that feeling in the Cub dugout right now. Back-to-back walks, we have got to score at least 1 and maybe 2 in this inning.
Yep, absolutely. I think Cubs hitters have done a good job against Ober of not chasing that ball down. You get the ball up, he's not going to overpower anybody. So you just look for something somewhat soft and make sure it's up in the zone. They have not chased the ball down.
Left-handed batting Michael Busch takes down low, ball 1. The announcement of the umpires that we gave you, sponsored by Old National Bank, where relationships and results matter. The lights are on. They have not nearly taken full effect yet. No score, bottom of the first. 2 men on for the Cubs. Nobody out. A swing and a miss at a changeup, 1-1. The lights are on. Tonight's game powered by ComEd. Busch at .239 season average, 49 RBIs. Runners take their leads. And the pitch to Michael. Low and outside, 2-1. Just one change-up after another, Ron.
Now they're going to challenge this one. Ball strike challenge, sponsored by Northwestern Medicine. A little backdoor off-speed pitch, but slow.
And it was a strike.
Count is 1-2.
The catcher, Jeffers, making the right call.
That ball, some of these pitches, when they just barely touch the zone, it's pretty amazing how close these pitches can be either way.
1-2 on Busch. Pete Armstrong leads at second, Suzuki at first. And the pitch by Ober. Low and outside, 2-2.
Guy's doing a good job of making Ober throw pitches and trying to get him to throw strikes. They are not chasing balls out of the zone. He's already at 17 pitches here in the first. He has not gotten an out yet.
And the 2-2 to Bush. Line drive, base hit, right field. Pete Armstrong around third, heading to the plate. The throw by Roden is not in time. Going to third is Suzuki. RBI single, Michael Bush. Cubs lead 1-0.
I know they're cheering back in Minnesota for Michael Bush. They want their Twins to win, but they're pulling for Michael as he shoots this ball into right field. Pete had to hold to see if the ball was going to be caught by an infielder, but he gets sent home, and the throw goes all the way to the plate through the cutoff man. Suzuki does an excellent job, though, knowing there might be a play at the plate. He goes all the way to third.
Cubs on the board. Infield stays back. Runners at first and third. The batter, Alex Bregman. That's RBI number 50 for Michael Bush. And the pitch to Bregman is a strike. Might have heard Craig Counsell talking about Bregman on the pregame show with Zach Zaidman. He anticipates Bregman to have a big second half of the year. Had homers in the last 2 games leading up to the break in Cincinnati. And he hits a bouncer foul toward third. Now, Ron, you had to be in this spot many times. First and third, nobody out, you're batting.
You're trying, especially with a guy that throws a lot of off-speed pitches. I'm really trying to get the ball up and out over the plate so I can pound this ball, especially on a night like this at Wrigley. You don't have to pull the ball to do damage. I'm really aiming at that 400-foot mark or right center.
Bregman checks on a breaking ball that's down in the dirt. 1-2. 2 walks and a single. Ober at 21 pitches now. Still has not retired a batter. Runners lead at first and third, and the 1-2 pitch on the way. Bregman takes just outside. Didn't miss by much. You have to be a confident hitter to take a pitch that close.
Yeah, that ball just off the plate away. Ober wanted that pitch, and Jeffers did not challenge.
Now it's 2-2. Right-hander to right-hander. Swing and a miss, and Bregman is out on strikes. Chased a high hard one, and that's out number 1. And Ian Happ coming up. Well, a similar situation that the previous hitter had, but not exact.
Yeah, you really want to try to get this ball elevated. You get something off speed, try to get it lofted to the outfield. Now, Feel Like a Bosch prediction brought to you by Bosch Power Tools. Feel Like a Bosch. Well, I was thinking about this, and Hall of Famer, since it's back from All-Star break, you feel like a Bosch? Feel like Bosching? I know you were talking about practicing Bosching while you were on the break. How'd that go?
I'll get back to you on that, Ron. Here's a pitch down low to Ian Happ. 1 ball and no strikes, because as you know, and you taught me this, Bosching can take on many different forms.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Many different times of the day, indoors, outdoors.
Oof. You were really Bosching during the break then, yeah.
I'm also stalling right now. Here comes the 1-0 pitch. On the way to Ian Happ, ground ball to first, stepping on the bag for 1, and the throw to second is going to be in time for a double play. Now, it required a tag. The question is, did the run score before the tag at second base? I believe the Cubs are going to get another run on that play, Ron.
I think this is one of those plays that I don't think Bruce Dreckman was watching whether or not the tag was before play at second base. I'm not sure that they're going to give this a run. I think they're going to challenge this and look at it. Tag is at second. We need to see when.
Mm-hmm. No challenge.
No challenge. I do not think they're going to get a run. I think the out was at second base before the run crossed the plate.
So Happ bounces into a double play, a 3-6 double.
Gathers himself and he gets Benj on a nice play by Bryson Stott over there at second, diving to his left. 1 pitch and another 1 pitch out.
Dead center field into the batter's eye for Francisco Alvarez. A solo home run gives the Mets a 1-0 lead.
1-2. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Ball in the dirt for Devin Williams. His 14th save this season and the 100th save of his major league career.
Beatty has left the yard. 5th home run of the year comes off Nola here in the 7th. It's 2-0 Mets. His 2nd blast of the night, and back-to-back homers make it 3-0 New York.
Strike 3 called. Phillies lose the challenge. Christian Scott has struck out 7 Phillies through 5 scoreless innings, and he and the Mets take a 1-0 lead into the 6th.
The MLB app. Yeah, it's got game. This game. These games.
In buildings, stay ready. Call 1-800-GRANGER, click Grainger.com, or stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Pat, did you know that our Catch Des Moines radio spots are now award-winning? It must be these golden pipes and our witty repartee.
Don't flatter yourself, partner. Des Moines is the real star. With award-winning attractions and a central location, it's the perfect getaway and the best thing since sliced bread, which, by the way, was invented in Iowa.
Ooh, do you think leftover steak de Burgo would be good as a sandwich?
Rod, you never have leftover steak de Burgo.
Then I guess I better order 2.
Des Moines, it's a trip. Make it yours at CatchDesMoines.com.
Who's on first? Southwest Airlines, ranked first among U.S. airlines by the Wall Street Journal. Based on WSJ's 2025 rankings, see southwest.com/WSJ.
Second inning, Cubs have a 1-0 lead. Colin Ray working on Royce Lewis. Right-handed batting first baseman. Lewis struggling this year, hitting .219, but he does have some power with 10 home runs. A ball and 2 strikes on Royce Lewis. Colin Ray, big right-hander, fires, swinging a foul back.
Lewis does something in his batting stance and what he does pre-pitch is as the pitcher gets ready to throw, his back foot takes a half step back towards the catcher and umpire, and then the pitch comes and he swings. So it's kind of an odd. Usually your front foot is the one that takes the stride. His back foot does. Never seen that before.
Again, he's a right-handed batter. Ray is ready, and sure enough, Ron, I see exactly what you're talking about. He steps back and then swings and misses, and that's out number 1.
Maybe that's why. That's an odd way to hit. When you've never seen it before, there might be a reason.
Whenever you see something like that, you always wonder about the origin. The first
right.
time he did it, something good must have happened.
Absolutely.
And he thought,
Yep.
I think I have found a new way to hit.
Yep, absolutely.
Brooks Lee, the batter, left-handed hitter, will take a strike.
Strikeouts by Cubs pitchers brought to you by Chicago and Northwest Indiana Hyundai dealers.
Lee, a .249 hitter, left-handed batter. And the next pitch outside. Well, I was looking at a note. I read it twice to make sure I read it properly. Would it surprise you that the 7 wins by Colin Ray in the first half leads the Cubs?
Yeah, how about that, right? Yeah, it would. It did surprise me when I saw that. Yep.
Now the 1-1 on the way. Fastball is inside, 2-1. Just getting started in this series. Day games over the weekend at 1:20 in the afternoon. Now the 2-1 to Lee. Fly ball to center, playable. Pete Crow Armstrong is there. He's got it. And that's out number 2.
Good pitch by Ray after some good changeup or good fastballs. His changeup works well. Routine fly ball. Speed Gun is always powered by Xfinity. Reliable Wi-Fi at one price for 5 years. Xfinity, imagine that.
2 down, Alan Roden. Left-handed batting right fielder, hitting .214, stepping in and takes outside. Well, Ron, you and I both share an affinity with Minnesota. It was the first team where we performed at the big league level. You broke in as a player in 1995, if I'm not mistaken.
That's right.
And that was with Minnesota. My first major league broadcast, 1983, on Minnesota Twins television.
Yeah, how about that?
For that reason, it's always going to be a special franchise for me.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yep.
And I'm sure for you as well.
No doubt.
You spent several years there.
I did. I spent just right at 7 years as a player and then 10 years as a broadcaster. So I spent a lot of time in the Twin Cities.
Some great people up there. Here's the next pitch, low and inside for a ball. 3-1. Twins World Series champions. I remember both of them. They've been a while since then. Since now. 1987, they beat the Cardinals in the World Series. 1991, they beat the Atlanta Braves. Jack Morris, a 10-inning shutout in Game 7. Here's the 3-2 pitch. Called strike 3. Rodin's going to challenge that call. Rodin wants to take another look. He thought it was outside.
Yep. Ball strike challenge sponsored by Northwestern Medicine. Let's see where this pitch ends up.
Some of the Cubs are walking off the field confident that it's going to stay a strike. And let's see if it is. It is. Oh, it got a lot of the plate. Strike 3, a strikeout for Ray. He's got 3 punch-outs. Strikeouts by Cubs pitchers brought to you by your Chicago and Northwest Indiana Hyundai.
Bob Engel thinks it's strike 3. Robert, you're thinking about that favorite restaurant. The count is 3-2. Houston players are leaving the field. The count should be 3-2. The most decisive second strike ever called. He's trying to keep from laughing and smiling. Whoops.
Bryce Matthews, who struck out looking his first time up. Matthews getting the start in left field tonight. Matthews hits it in the air pretty well to center. Going back on it is Rafaela at the wall, looking up. See you later! Bryce Matthews with his first long ball of the year, right by the Phillips 66 home run pump, and the Astros lead 4-0. That went 434 feet just to the left of straightaway center, and it was 111 miles an hour off Matthews' bat.
I can't imagine transitioning from loving baseball cards to then knowing it's inevitably coming that you're going to be on baseball cards. What was that moment like for you?
Yeah, I think the first card I saw was when they did something for USA Baseball, and then now seeing my face, seeing me playing baseball on a card, it was surreal. It wasn't that it was that moment where like, wow, this is really something.
Make history with your business in the Village of Bedford Park. To learn more, contact Adam Colopy at ACOLLOPY@villageofbedfordpark.com.
Bottom 2, Cubs 1, Twins 0. The second inning is brought to you by Sea Glass Wines, official partner of the Cubs, bringing the California coast to you wherever you are.
Nico Horner lines a base hit into left center. He'll take a big turn and hold with a single. I was looking at Nico Horner's numbers in the first half run. A .233 batting average, and I thought Nico is at least 40 or 50 points better than that.
Yeah, there's no doubt. I hope he gets back to swinging the bat like Nico is capable. Well, we just saw the line drives all around the ballpark. If he does that, you're going to see him skyrocket back up to around 280 to 290.
Michael Conforto, left-handed batting designated hitter, will take a changeup for a strike. Bailey Ober throwing one off-speed pitch after another. Ober comes set, the big right-hander ready and delivers. Bouncing ball foul toward the Twins' first base dugout. First of 3 against Minnesota, first of 6 on the homestand. The Detroit Tigers are here starting on Monday night. 3 consecutive night games, all beginning at 7:05. Cubs 5 games behind Milwaukee for the division lead.
Milwaukee playing at home against Miami, one of the surprise teams. Fastball is up and in, 1-2. Both Florida teams, Miami and Tampa, absolutely stunning how well they both played in the first half.
Yeah, it really has been. Tampa has had things, they've been a franchise that's been winning for a while, but not to the level they are, and Miami is doing a good job.
The runner goes, here's a line drive, base hit to center. Nico's going to go to third. The throw from Keyshaw comes in. It's a base hit for Conforto. The shortstop, Gray, was over near the bag, but that smash, I think he was slightly distracted by Nico Hoerner running, and he did not make a clean-looking attempt at fielding the ground ball, Ron.
He was not at all ready for the ball to be hit at him when he was going to cover the bag. And he got a little flat-footed when he got around the second base bag. The ball one step to his left, but he was kind of stuck there and didn't make a real move at it. And Nico goes first to third.
Nobody out. Cubs lead 1-0. The batter, Carson Kelly. Infield back. And Kelly takes inside. Now remember, the Cubs had a run in with 2 men on in the first inning and could not score beyond the 1 run. Kelly, a .273 hitter. He's driven in 32. He'd like to add to that number right now. Curveball missing, 2-0. Big hole on the right side of the infield. Clemens, the second baseman, way over near the bag. 90 feet of space. Kelly hits a fly ball to left, down the line, curling toward foul territory, out of play. And it's 2-1.
Yeah, Ober's going to be a guy for the right-handed hitters. You'd really have to get the right pitch to serve that ball the other way. I think you have a hard time waiting that long for a guy that's throwing this many off-speed pitches. You get the right pitch, though, you can just hit that ground ball the other way and drive in a run.
2-1 pitch drilled, foul on the ground outside third. Ober run could be a power forward in the NBA. He is 6'9". He weighs 254 pounds. Born in Charlotte, North Carolina. He's 31 years old, but he's a big fella.
He's in the right area for basketball, too, isn't he? North Carolina?
Tobacco Road?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you bet. Now the 2-2 from Ober. And Kelly swings and misses at a breaking ball. Strikeout number 2 for Bailey Ober. And the number 9 hitter, Dansby Swanson, coming up. Now, what's going through Dansby's mind? First and third, 1 away.
Got to get the ball up. That last pitch, and we talked about it in the open, the last pitch was down. It's an off-speed pitch down. If you see the ball up in the strike zone, you can go on the attack. If you see it down, you've got to try to lay off the pitch down in the zone. It's going to end up being a ball.
Dansby leads the team in RBIs, which is very unusual for a number 9 hitter. And he'll pull a ground ball foul toward third. So are you using a slightly elevated swing to make sure you don't hit a ground ball here?
Well, what you want to do is you just want to get the ball up in the zone and not look to hook the ball. You want to drive it back to the middle of the diamond.
Infield back, first and third, 1 away. Ground ball to short. Gray goes to second. There's one. The throw to first. Double play. The Cubs stymied again. This time they get no runs after first and third with nobody out. We go to the third inning. Cubs 1.
Jammed and a little pop-up. Everybody's coming, but the pitcher wants it. Now he's going to give way. What's he doing? It's going to be dropped.
Keystone Cops on the infield for the Rockies.
Isbell's got to beat him. Battling the sun. He bobbles and recovers.
That's a highlight tape and a heck of a catch.
That went straight lawn dart. It's in the ground. On guard. That's it.
See, he comes off that stool down there and makes a nice catch. A hot line drive.
And Vladdy's applauding.
The Red Sox got their 4th of July party started early with a 4-game sweep of the struggling Yankees at Fenway.
Can you believe it?
It's the first time the Sox have swept a 4-game series from the Yankees since 2018, and it's largely thanks to the efforts of their red-hot rookie-filled rotation. With the Yankee offense continuing to struggle without Aaron Judge, the Sox pitchers didn't miss a beat. Connolly early set the stage with a 9K performance in a Game 1 duel against Cam Schlittler, while Peyton Tolley provided a strong follow-up act with 7 one-hit innings in Game 2. And the newest rookie, Jake Bennett, got in on the action himself and took home the win in Game 3.
And all of a sudden, the Red Sox are rolling against their arch rival.
But it was the veteran Sonny Gray who provided the showstopper in Game 4, taking a no-hitter into the 8th in his finest start of the year. Jarren Duran capped the sweep with a 10th-inning walk-off that kept the Yankees tumbling out of first place.
And you can bet your sweet Cubbies we fly to their away games. Hint, hint.
Top 3, Cubs 1, Twins nothing. Partly cloudy, 83 degrees here at Wrigley Field. Light wind blowing out to left. Time and temperature sponsored by Circus Sports. Sports betting the way it should be with no bet fees. Pat?
All right, Zach. Twins have Luke Keyshaw, right-handed batting center fielder, first up. Tristan Gray, their shortstop, will bat next, and then Trevor Larnach against Colin Ray. Here's the pitch on the way, and it's outside for a ball. Now, the Twins have had a break-even first half. They are 48-49, so they're not bad. They're not great. But in that division, they're just 3 games out of first place.
Yeah, that's right.
The White Sox and the Guardians are tied for the top spot. But the Twins still very much alive in the division race and in the wild card. Here's the next offering. It's down low, and the wild card is going to be one of those things you start hearing increasingly more and more about as time goes by. For example, the Cubs right now are the top National League wild card team. The Phillies are second, and Miami is third. Swing and a miss, 2-2. The Yankees, surprisingly, are not leading their division. They are the wild card leader in the American League. Cleveland is second, and then Seattle and Minnesota are tied for the third wild card spot.
Right.
And again, the Twins are under 500, but still very much alive for a postseason berth. Now the 2-2 to Keyshaw, pulled on the ground, foul toward third.
Well, and the thing that it does is it forces teams, to really think about where you stand. You got a lot of teams that are vying for those spots that, in 1 week's time can find themselves right in the spot, or can find themselves 3 or 4 games back. It puts a lot of teams in the race, though. I'll tell you that.
He's talking with former Cubs announcer Corey Provis, now one of the voices of the Minnesota Twins. Here's the 3-2 pitch, fouled away. And he said this particular trip starting tonight for the Twins at Wrigley is vital. They play 3 here and then 4 in Cleveland.
Yeah.
And he said it's vital regarding what they will do at the trading deadline.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of teams feel that way. Here's a broken bat ground ball to a charging Swanson at short. Gloves, throws to first, not in time. A little nubber. And Luke Keyshaw beats it out. Hit a little dribbler right off the thumbs. But that's a base hit.
Yeah, this ball doesn't roll. Dansby fields this ball in the infield grass. And this is one of those, when you hit it, you're like, do I need to go back and find my thumb? Because your thumb might be laying at home plate. Dansby did not get a good grip on the baseball to get rid of or get off a good throw to first. So it will be a base hit. First hit of the game for the Twins.
Tristan Gray takes low, and as I was watching Dansby charge that grounder, I almost had the feeling that I used to have when I played amateur ball. Do I barehand this one or do I glove it? Barehand glove. You're going back and forth as you're chasing it, and then you have to make a decision.
That's why he didn't make a good transfer from glove to hand with the ball. He was playing it off to his right side like you're going to barehand it, And then at the last second, he made a decision to try with the glove, and it was kind of on the backhand side, just an awkward play. To be honest, I don't know if he gets him no matter what he does. He gave it a good try.
Agreed. The 1-0 pitch. Fastball in there for a strike, 1-1.
We're coming to you live all season long from the Invesco QQQ broadcast booth. Proud partner of the Chicago Cubs.
Great crowd at Wrigley. We'll make our guesses in the Benny's Beverage Depot attendance game. Chopper to first, charging as Bush throws to second, and not in time, and Swanson gets hit in the face with the throw, and he is hurt. Running to third safely on the play is Keyshaw, and now Dansby Swanson getting up. He got hit on the side of the face. I don't know if the ball glanced off the body of the runner, Keyshaw, and then hit him in the side of the face. He is now sitting up and being attended to by trainer Nick Frangella.
So the play happens. I don't know if the ball does hit Keyshaw at all, but he's running on the inside. So Dansby's way inside. He's not running at the bag. He's inside by a good couple steps. And I think that his hand going up shields Dansby from catching the ball. And I do think that Dansby did. I think he took it in his left side of his cheek and his nose. They're out there with a towel. But you see, Keshaw's running on the infield grass by quite a bit, actually.
You get 3 feet from the baseline, and he was dangerously close to being out of the baseline.
Well, I think this is one of those new plays that you have to run into the base, into the bag. He is definitely not doing that. He's not even close to running into the bag, straight into the bag. And
Swanson sitting up and now starts to stand up. And he is feeling his face around the lips and the nose.
Ball hits you like that, break your nose, or you get hit in the mouth where you lose a tooth, or
runners will be at first and third with nobody out here in the Twins' third inning. Cubs lead the game 1-0. Now the question is, will Dansby be able to stay in the game? I know he wants to. He's a great competitor, and we've seen him take some jolts over these past few years, Ron, but it takes a lot to knock him out of a game.
Yeah, he likes to play and play every day, but looks like the ball hit him, and it's his lower lip and teeth in front of Craig Counsell's out there with Swanson, and Flaherty, the Cubs bench coach, was talking to Mark Wegner, the third base umpire, and I know what he's asking. He's asking him how, if you're sliding and you're running and you're not even in the dirt of the infield, you're in the grass by a step and a half, you're not in the baseline. So, when you get that close to the base, you're supposed to slide into the bag. He did not. So that is one of those plays that you wonder, and I think Dansby's going to stay in the game.
And, Ron, I should know the answer to this, but I do not. Would a base running interference call be something that would be reviewable? I don't remember one of those ever being reviewed, and that's why I asked.
I don't think it is. I would think not. I would say it would be one of those plays that for an umpire you'd have to almost be looking for it, and I don't think, it's a tough one, right? You're either you see it or you don't. And I think the Cubs would have a real argument when you see the replay of where the base runner is. He's 3 feet in the infield grass.
Mm-hmm. And he kind of swerved at the last minute to make sure he was in the way of Dansby.
That's right, yep.
So we're ready for the resumption of play. Swanson stays in the game. The Cubs keep the infield back. Twins with a great scoring chance now, first and third, with nobody out, and the leadoff batter, Trevor Larnach, at the plate.
So Dansby at shortstop still, but he has gauze in his mouth under his bottom lip.
And the pitch to Larnach is outside. Keyshaw ended up at third on the play. Tristan Gray, who hit the ground ball a minute ago, is at first.
So they're giving it a throwing error on Michael Bush at first.
Larnach takes high and outside, 2-0.
Not sure how you give an error to a guy that threw the ball right at the position player and you hit him with it.
Now the big right-hander brings it, and that's going to be ball 3. 3-0 to Larnach. Jeffers, the number 2 hitter in the lineup, is on deck. Last pitch just maybe an inch or two below the knees. Larnach probably taking 3-0. He is. It's a strike. Now Larnach presumably would have the green light. A stretch in the pitch. Fly ball, left side, foul, slicing down the line and drifting out of play. Bregman gave chase, so did the left fielder Happ, but it was well back out of play. And now the count 3-2, and what Colin Ray really needs is a strikeout right now.
I would think with Gray at first base, you may try to do some running here just to try to stay out of the double play. I'm still puzzled by the error call. Can't you just make that a fielder's choice and the runners move up? I mean, when a ball is a play like that?
Yeah, that's a tough error. Here's the 3-2. Swinging a line drive, base hit to left. And the Twins get on the board. The game is now tied 1-1. And now the Twins thinking about a big inning as Larnach gets his 33rd run batted in with a soft opposite field single to left.
Yeah, a little pitch away. He does a very good job of just going with this ball and shooting a line drive to left. Didn't try to do too much with it. And drives in the first run for Minnesota.
Ray up to 50 pitches after 2+ innings. Ryan Jeffers the batter, and he'll take inside. And the way the game has started, you get the feeling that both bullpens will see plenty of activity in this game before it's all said and done. Jeffers hit into a fielder's choice in the first. He drives one to deep left field. Back goes Happ at the wall. That ball is going to be gone for a home run. A 3-run homer for Ryan Jeffers. And the Twins have taken a 4-1 lead here in the 3rd inning.
Now, we talked about it. If you get the ball elevated here at Wrigley tonight, it's going to go. It's warm and the wind blowing out slightly to left field. This is a little breaking ball that stays in the middle of the plate. Jeffers doesn't hit it all that well, catches it off the end of the bat, but gets it enough to just get it over the basket and in about the second row of bleachers.
Tell me, Harvey, the pitching coach, out to see about Colin Ray. Meanwhile, one of the Cub trainers will head out to see about Dansby Swanson, maybe give him a new piece of gauze that he can put inside the lip.
Yeah, last pitch, I was wondering if it was a hanging breaking ball. Really wasn't. It stayed down. Probably got a little too much of the plate for Collins' liking, but Jeffers put a really good swing on that pitch and hit it in the second row.
Still nobody out in the inning. Twins on top 4-1. And the batter, Josh Bell. Bell hit into a fielder's choice his first time. He lines one into right field, a base hit. 4th hit in the inning for the Twins. 4 runs in, still nobody out, and a man at first, and the batter, Cody Clemens.
Another breaking ball from Colin, and now that one was not a good breaking ball. That was up about belt high, outer third, and Bell smoked a one-hopper to right.
Clemens showing bunt. The cleanup hitter, I would be surprised to see him laying down a bunt in this spot.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised at that, too. Bregman was playing over by short. But with warm night here at Wrigley, it's a good night to hit.
Clemens, left-handed batter, open stance. And he'll hit a sharp ground ball. Backhanded by Horner, go to second. 1, Swanson to first, double play. Nicely done. 4-6-3 on the double play. And now there are 2 down in the inning. Nice play by Nico Horner to start that twin killing.
Yeah, ball hit sharply, backhand by Nico, and then a perfect flip to Dansby, and the Cubs turn the pair.
4-1 Minnesota. The batter, Royce Lewis. Lewis struck out his first time. Lights are on at Wrigley. Still some daylight left. Still cloudy and warm and dry. Breaking ball is low and outside, ball one.
Yeah, there was a little concern about 6:15 or so, and the grounds crew unrolled the tarp. They did not put it on the field, but they unrolled it, wondering if there were pop-up showers in the area.
Pop fly shallow left. Swanson going out and gives way to the oncoming Ian Happ, who makes the catch to end the inning. Minnesota strikes for 4 runs. 4 runs on the same number of hits. They leave none.
All your favorite games from MLB Play are back, bigger, bolder, and better than ever. Test your skills with daily puzzles like MLB Pickle, the ultimate mystery player challenge, and Immaculate Grip, where stats and strategy collide. Then in Spinball, build your roster, take on your friends, and compete for the weekly prize. Or be the first to beat the streak and hit your way to the $5.6 million jackpot. Plus, the all-new Daily Walk-Off. Lock in your players by category for the walk-off win. The game's official home for games is MLB Play, only on the MLB app and MLB.com.
Schlittler, 25 years old. He spent the season until June in AA last year, then moved up to AAA, and he was called up to the Yankees on July 9th, and what a difference he made. Swing and a miss. Gets him on the sinker. Swing and a miss. That's the sinker. 4 strikeouts in a row, 8 on the game.
Puedes ser el dueño de grandes momentos del béisbol. MLB Auction te permite participar en la subasta de bates, bolas y jerseys autografiados, con artículos de tus equipos de grandes ligas favoritos, leyendas y jugadores. Visita auctions.mlb.com.
Beautiful. Find yours at your locally owned retailer. Visit BenjaminMoore.com today.
Pete Crow Armstrong's on deck for the Cubs. Who's on deck is sponsored by TimberTech Decking and Railing. Everything wood should be. Visit TimberTech.com. Pat?
Pete Crow Armstrong had a base on balls and scored the Cubs' only run back in the first inning. And he'll take a strike, 0-1. Pete wearing red batting gloves on either hand, swings and fouls it back below us. Good to see him get a base hit in the All-Star game in Philadelphia.
Yeah, one of the few for the National League. The National League did not fare too well offensively, but Pete banged out a single.
I think he's going to make the All-Star team a whole long string of years in succession.
Yeah, I can see that. He keeps swinging the bat, like he is. The way he plays defense, every manager in baseball would love to have him in center field.
Swings and misses at a curveball, and that's out number 1. Before Suzuki bats, 10 seconds for station ID. This is The Score and the Northwestern Medicine Cubs Radio Network.
Covering the Cubs and all of Chicago's teams. We are 104.3 The Score, WSCR, WSCR-FM and HD1 Chicago, and Odyssey Sports Station on the Northwestern Medicine Cubs Radio Network.
Suzuki pops it up right side foul. Lewis, the first baseman, over. The catcher there also, but it's out of play. Jeffers, the catcher, over near the on-deck circle, first base side, but it was about 3 rows deep. 0-1 on Suzuki. I'm still thinking about making a Bosch prediction, Ron. Brought to you by Bosch Power Tools. Feel like a Bosch.
I know. I saw you boshing in between innings, and I just was wondering if you were still thinking about it.
There's a pitch in there for a strike, 0-2. Just a little shadow boxing is all I was doing. And the pitch to Sayar. Curveball is low and outside. Just one off-speed pitch after another from Bailey Ober. And the 1-2. Low and outside, again off speed.
Yep. It's all breaking balls, change-ups, occasional high fastball.
Let's play that Benny's Beverage Depot attendance game. If you can't find it at Benny's, it's probably not worth drinking. Saya lays off a breaking ball. It's 3-2. I don't see a lot of empty seats. I'm going to say 39,593. Great bleacher crowds. Upper deck filled, lower deck jammed. Fastball, strike 3 called. Suzuki on a fastball looking, and that's out number 2.
Yeah, a little comeback pitch. Looked like kind of an in-between. Might have been a change. Great comeback movement to the strike zone to get the call of strike 3. That's about as much movement as you're going to see a guy get on a changeup.
Michael Bush, the batter. He'll take outside. Michael had a base hit and drove in the Cubs' only run. Cubs had a run in. They had men at first and third with nobody out in the first, but could not score any more. They had the first 2 men reach in the second inning. Base hits by Horner and Conforto. And again, they were stymied. So it's been a frustrating early part of the game for the Cubs so far. 4-1 Minnesota leads. The 0-1 to Bush. Check swing, it's down low.
Last ball strike challenge, sponsored by Northwestern Medicine. I'll make my prediction. I say 40,200. 40,200.
Oh, you hesitated there.
Yeah, I thought I was going to go 22, but nah. I think there's just 40,200 there.
Just getting started. Day games over the weekend. Matthew Boyd tomorrow against Taj Bradley, TAJ. Shota Imanaga on Sunday against Zebby Matthews. And now the 1-2. Low and outside. I'm pretty sure, Ron, this is the first time that on one weekend the Cubs faced both a Taj and a Zebby.
Yeah, well, you think maybe? Yeah.
I'm pretty sure,
yeah,
right?
Okay.
Low and inside for a ball, 3-2.
Now, were there a lot of Zebbies in your neighborhood in San Jose?
Not that I'm aware of, but maybe they were just keeping it quiet.
Yeah, they just might have called him Z.
I've been there.
Yeah, I know, yeah.
The 3-2 now to Bush. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Bailey Ober just struck out the side. We go to the 4th inning. Twins 4, Cubs 1. This is the score in the Northwestern Medicine.
The Red Sox got their 4th of July party started early with a 4-game sweep of the struggling Yankees at Fenway.
Can you believe it?
It's the first time the Sox have swept a 4-game series from the Yankees since 2018, and it's largely thanks to the efforts of their red-hot rookie-filled rotation. With the Yankee offense continuing to struggle without Aaron Judge, the Sox pitchers didn't miss a beat. Connolly early set the stage with a 9K performance in a Game 1 duel against Cam Schlittler, while Peyton Tolley provided a strong follow-up act with 7 one-hit innings in Game 2. And the newest rookie, Jake Bennett, got in on the action himself and took home the win in Game 3.
And all of a sudden, the Red Sox are rolling against their arch rival.
But it was the veteran Sonny Gray who provided the showstopper in Game 4, taking a no-hitter into the 8th in his finest start of the year. Jarren Duran capped the sweep with a 10th inning walk-off that kept the Yankees tumbling out of first place.
Puedes ser el dueño de grandes momentos del béisbol. MLB Auction te permite participar en la subasta de bates, bolas y jerseys autografiados, con artículos de tus equipos de grandes ligas favoritos, leyendas y jugadores. Visita auctions.mlb.com.
Time now for the out-of-town scoreboard. On your first Phillip. Muncy's 2-run shot. Dodgers lead the Yankees 2-1 in the top of the seventh.
Fly ball left field. Double for Ian Happ. Almost in his tracks. And he will make the catch. Royce Lewis. Actually, Brooks Lee, the guy that hit that ball. So Lee is out number one. And the batter now, Alan Roden.
First out, sponsored by Xfinity, reliable Wi-Fi, one price for 5 years. Xfinity, imagine that. Anytime. Rolling out Abreu with a pair of home runs. Red Sox leading the Rays, 5-inning Rays, bottom of the 6th inning. Bottom of the 6th inning, the Braves all over the Rangers. 8-0, bottom 6th in Atlanta.
Roden will take a strike.
Three-run home run, number 16 on the year for him. The White Sox are top of the top 3 in the top of the 6th. In the top of the 6th, and Marlins tied at 1 on the 10th inning in Milwaukee.
Colin Ray brings it home run. And that's just outside.
Yordan Alvarez with an RBI double. The Astros on top of the Orioles. 1-0 in the top of the third. Other action, bottom 3. Royals 1-3. Rays nothing. Lane Thomas' solo shot.
Outside.
Sal Stewart with a ribbon double for Cincinnati. As prevents the Rockies 1-0. Bottom 2. Bottom Coors Field in Colorado.
2-1 pulled on the ground at first, deep behind the back, fair ball, fielded by Bush, and he crosses it to Colin Ray, running over to cover the bag, and that's out cover the bag, and that's a sack.
The Pirates and Guardians will ring it out in Cleveland, and in game 1 of that doubleheader in Fenway, the Red Sox will crush the Rays 10-0.
Here it is 4-1. Minnesota leading. Lay down. We're in the Twins' 4th inning. Base is empty, and Luke Keyshaw is the batter. Keyshaw had an infield hit that started a 4-run rally back in the third.
Oh, and one more thing. Yes, in the Binny's Beverage Depot attendance game, 39,900.
The 0-1 looping line drive over. Jumping Bregman. It's a base hit. It's a broken bat almost. A little looping single to left for Luke Keyshaw. And the batter, Tristan Gray. Jam shot. He's going through some bats here already in this game. He's 2 for 2. You know what that means. Both of those bats have died a hero. Did you ever save any of your broken bats? Yeah, absolutely.
They were great things to sign and give away.
Oh, I'll bet.
Yeah, that was a great thing to give away to friends and fans.
Here is a swing and a miss. We got a letter run from a great young fan by the name of Ronnie Camper. And it says he plays Special Olympics. And he plays quite a few things. You must be a terrific athlete, Ronnie. Bocce ball, bowling, and softball.
Oh, very cool.
Here comes the 0-2. And it's taken high for a ball. But he wrote down, I'm not sure if he's requesting this, it says, meet Ron Coomer, and then right down below, it says free tickets. And then he says, funny, Ron Coomer, Pat Hughes, meet Cubs, Pat Hughes. I'm not sure, it's almost like it's in a code of some kind. But we congratulate you, Ronnie Camper, for being a Special Olympics athlete. You sound like you're well-rounded. Bocce ball, bowling, and softball.
And
the runner goes big jump, and it's a swing and a miss, strike 3, and that's going to end the inning. We'll get back to this letter a bit later on. The Twins do not score. We go to the bottom of the 4th inning. It's Minnesota 4, Cubs 1 on the score.
We've run into all kinds of weather so far this year. and this is the first time we've run into a fog.
They're going to have Bonds hit a pop-up and see if they can catch it.
There goes one. Now let's see where that is. I have no idea where it is. There's a lone figure standing out in right field, and only he knows who he is. It's like a set from the Hound of the Baskervilles should be coming out soon.
Welcome back to Cincinnati. Gino swung on, crushed, high, deep, left field. There it goes. Goodbye into the second deck. A 3-run go-ahead blast.
Hey, Eugenio Suarez to the second deck, and he thunders the Reds ahead 3-2.
Well, there was absolutely no doubt about that one right there.
431 feet for Suarez.
That ball was smashed.
The MLB app. Yeah, it's got game. This game. These games. All the games. Pre-game, post-game, and everything in between. This is baseball your way. With real-time stats, scores, breaking news, and custom content that hits every time. Because you choose the teams and pick the players you want to follow. So when they catch it on the field, you catch it on the app.
iParty.VIP.
Spiegel and Holmes talk Cubs baseball on Chicago Sports every weekday from 2 to 6 on 104.3 The Score and the Odyssey app. And guys, we have Paul Zarang's guest in the Vinny's Beverage Depot attendance game. The Maestro going with 39,222 this evening.
I guess we're all locked in as Alex Bregman will take a strike from Bailey Ober. But a thanks to Ronnie Camper, his friend Matt sent us a note that said it would mean a great deal to Ronnie to know his letter reached the two of you. Your voices are a big part of what makes Cubs games so meaningful and fun for him. Well, I like your style. I really do, Ronnie Camper, especially the part about meet Ron Coomer and then right below free tickets.
And then it says Pat Hughes, I think. Yeah, so I think he wants to meet both of us, but he knows Pat has a plethora of tickets available to him.
Now, wait a minute. I think plethora might be a little strong. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Alex Bregman. Now, if my name was right next to the free tickets, I would gladly take a more active role, but Ron, it's right below your name.
Huh.
I'm just reporting as a journalist. Here comes the 2-2. And it's swung on and missed, strike 3. Bregman out on strikes. That's 4 consecutive strikeouts and 6 in the first 3 1/3 by Bailey Ober, who looked like he might not even survive the first inning when it began.
Yeah, he really struggled in the first and then was able to pitch out and only give up 1 run, and then got a double play to end that inning and then a double play to end the second. Since then, he's been lights out.
Ian Happ takes low and end for a ball, but we always enjoy getting fan letters, and we thank you for listening and thank you for writing. Here comes the 1-0. Happ hits a pop fly foul back out of play. Happ wrapped into an inning-ending double play in the first inning. Ron, I was reading about the trading deadline. You're going to hear more and more about that in the next few weeks. Yep. It's been moved back 3 days. It used to be the 31st of July for the longest time, but for whatever reason now it's August 3rd.
That's right.
It just gives teams an extra couple of days to get their plans together, I suppose.
Yeah, Yeah, it's one of those things where whatever that date is, it gets to be very relevant in our game.
Fastball high to Ian Happ.
It's been moved a couple times. All right, so. And then there was a trading deadline and then another deadline. And if you get traded in that period, you couldn't play in the playoffs, but you could still be traded.
Happ drives one down the line in right, curling and going foul. It did not have home run distance. But it's one of those things that daily we'll start getting a lot of coverage and what teams are looking for and what teams are discussing possible trades. Sometimes the trades are done very secretly, and you don't hear a word about it until the actual deal is consummated. Yep. And sometimes it's discussed for 10 full days, every single day that a certain player is going to a certain team. They just have to decide on who's going the other way in the deal.
Yeah, I think for teams, I think they would like, I'd say 99% of the league would like for things to be quiet if you were trying to make moves, but I don't always think that's the case.
Happ swings and misses, strike 3. Bailey Ober, 5 straight strikeouts and 6 of the last 7 batters. 2 down, and here is Nico Horner.
Yeah, Cubs get off to a good start. They were taking a lot of pitches early in the game, and then since that second inning, they've been chasing a little more. Wilbur's been making some pitches. Cubs have been chasing the ball down and up last couple innings.
7 strikeouts as Horner takes ball 1. And I'm looking, Rod, only 1 has been a called third strike. That was the one to Suzuki in the 3rd inning. The others have all been swinging. Nico pulls the ground ball foul toward 3rd.
Another changeup. You see that tonight, but you don't see it a lot in the league. A right-handed pitcher throwing a changeup to a right-handed hitter.
Twins lead 4-1, 2 down, bottom of the 4th inning. Nice warm summer night at Wrigley. Beautiful green ivy on the outfield walls all the way around. And the pitch on the way. Nico hits a bouncer toward the middle. Hits the second base bag, but it's still played, and a bad throw. And that throw will hit off the protective screen in front of the dugout. Nico gets the infield single. The second baseman, Clemens, backhanding the ball, and then made a sidearm throw that must have slipped out of his hand, Ron.
Yeah, he comes up this ball and never really gets good grip and throws this ball way wide of first base. Now the ball at the dugout goes in behind the pad but in front of the fencing. So the catcher goes in and pulls the ball out from behind the padding. And what they're discussing, Bruce Streckman and Nate Tollinson, is whether or not this should be considered out of play or not, because it's in front of the fence but behind the pad. So this is one of them odd calls. I'm going to guess there is no real ground rule for that. If it stays in front of the dugout, it stays in play, but it's in behind the pad but in front of the fence. Weird, really weird play.
I would say it's a dead ball once it disappeared from the field of play and got behind the screen. Yeah, that's what they're ruling.
And you're exactly right.
Dead ball, and now the manager for Minnesota wants to come out.
Yeah, Derek Shelton's going to ask for a explanation, and I think the umpires said the exact thing to themselves, Pat, that you were just explaining on the air. And Derek Shelton's not liking this because he's being penalized for the ball, for the pad not being connected to the fence, but no big argument, and Nico will end up on second base. It'll be a single and an error.
Errors by the opponent, sponsored by North Shore, the MVP of adult diapers. For even the heaviest control problems, visit northshore.com. I always try to read that as in the most dramatic way possible.
I noticed Zach has never run faster ever than when an opposing team makes an error.
He has an affinity for that commercial, you're saying.
Absolutely. I think that's, that's the diaper dandy for him, I think.
Michael Conforto, the batter, and the pitch on the way to Michael with a man at second and 2 down. We'll get to the bottom of the story.
Yeah, I think it would be ideal for Zach to read the old diaper dandy.
I could have used a little better phrasing on that last sentence. Here comes the 0-1 to Conforto. Swing and a foul off the end of the bat.
Now I'm borrowing a phrase from an old friend who you know also, Dick Vitale, longtime Hall of Fame broadcaster. He would call the freshmen, in college, the diaper dandies. This has a whole new meaning.
Yeah, he's the guy that called me Schultz.
Yeah.
Here's the 0-2. Pitch on the way to Conforto. And it's a little looper foul. And he was in, this is before you got here, Ron. Ron Santo was in the booth. Dick Vitale is going to sing Take Me Out to the Ball Game. I've told the story before. And I'm ready to introduce myself. And he says, I know who you are. Everyone knows Schultz and Santo. Well, I'm not sure I do, Dick, if you could please explain. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Popped up shallow left. The third baseman, Lee, in foul territory, makes the catch. And that ends the inning. No runs for the Cubs. 1 hit, 1 error, 1 diaper dandy, and 1 guy named Schultz. We go to the 5th inning. Zach.
Bonds going after it, and a fan came lurching out of the stands.
Bonds shakes his hand and now goes back to his position.
Nixon heading over towards the corner, and the pole of a play. And so fired up, he's going to take care of that guy's bevy.
I'm going to guess that we'll see that play again and again and again.
Line shot that is caught by Jose Nieves. It hit his glove, it hit his head, and the ball bounced back in his glove.
I want to ask you about food. What is something that you have to eat to be the judge?
Oh, Aaron Judge! Send him to Monument Park now!
We got some good chefs in New York. They've been cooking up some nice chopped cheeses, and that kind of, it gets you, I don't know if I should tell the kids that they should be eating chopped cheese before a game.
Before the game, probably steak. That's usually what I go to.
I like a steak, no vegetables.
No vegetables?
No vegetables.
No, is it straight protein?
Yeah.
Papers swirling onto the field, all-star ballots like a mini tornado out there. This will be a wonderful night for the grounds crew.
Well, you never know what you're going to see.
No, the players all turning away from that wind so they won't get the dust in their eyes. This looks like a scene out of a Humphrey Bogart movie.
Puedes ser el dueño de grandes momentos del béisbol. MLB Auction te permite participar en la subasta de bates, bolas y jerseys autografiados, con artículos de tus equipos de grandes ligas favoritos, leyendas y jugadores. Visita auctions.mlb.com.
And color with Regal Select from Benjamin Moore. Rich, durable, and effortlessly beautiful. Find your locally owned retailer. Visit benjaminmoore.com today.
Join the Cubs this Monday, July 20th, to celebrate Greek heritage. Fans who purchase tickets through Cubs.com/specials will receive a special edition Cubs Greek heritage jersey. Don't miss out on this offer. Top of the 5th here at Wrigley. Minnesota 4-1 lead over the Cubs. Colin Ray on the mound, Trevor Larnach at the plate, and the first pitch misses off the outside. A curveball, 1-0 the count. Larnach got the scoring started for Minnesota in a 4-run third inning. He had an RBI single. Left-handed batter against the right-hander Ray. The kick and pitch. Larnach takes ball 2 outside. That was a change that missed. 2-0. The big hit in that third inning, Ryan Jeffers, who's on deck, smacked a 3-run home run. So 4-1 Minnesota here in the 5th. No one out. The pitch. Called strike. Fastball from Ray. Clocked at 92 miles per hour. Near the bottom of the zone on the outer half. 2-1. Ray deals. Larnach fouls it back. 2-2. We were supposed to have some rain during the 8 o'clock hour here in Chicago, but apparently that's no longer the case. So baseball continues. The 2-2. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. As Ray gets Larnach with a slider. 1 away.
Good pitch by Colin. A little slider down and in. And this ball, the bottom just kind of drops out of this breaking ball. Get the punch out.
Strikeout number 5 on the night for Ray. Strikeouts by Cubs pitchers are brought to you by your Chicago and Northwest Indiana Hyundai dealers. The batter now, Ryan Jeffers, right-handed hitter. The pitch. That's a called strike. Fastball clocked at 93 miles per hour.
First out in the inning. Sponsored by Xfinity. Reliable Wi-Fi at one price for 5 years. Xfinity, imagine that.
Light wind blowing out to left. Coon, the pitch. Jeffers takes a ball inside. A fastball that missed. 1-1. Partly cloudy early evening here in Chicago. Temperature in the 80s. Here's the 1-1. Jeffers looks at a ball low and outside, a sinker in the dirt, 2-1.
Oh, Matt Spiegel is in the booth. Spiegel and Holmes talk Cubs baseball and Chicago sports every weekday from 2 to 6 on 104.3 The Score and the Odyssey app. What's coming on the show tomorrow? Yeah.
It's a 2-1 pitch, and
Friday.
that's a called strike on the outside edge. Coom.
It's all-star break,
Yeah,
man. I'm a mess with the days right now. Friday night game. I'm all over the place.
Do you need a moment?
Enjoy your off day tomorrow, Speak.
2-2 the count on Jeffers. Coom, by the way, this is the opener of a 3-game set between the Cubs and Twins.
I know
Minnesota.
the Twins are in town. That I know. I recognize the hat.
Slow moving, bouncing ball left side, fielded belt high by a running Bregman, who fires a strike to first in time to get Jeffers 2 away.
Yeah. Minnesota comes to town. I always know the Twins are in town. A lot of friends on the other side of the diamond.
It's a big weekend here on the north side. Cubs celebrating the 10-year anniversary of the 2016 championship team. Josh Bell digs in. 2 down here in the top of the 5th. 4-1 Minnesota. And the pitch. Swing and a miss.
Brought out the official logo of the next year's All-Star game that will be hosted by the Chicago Cubs. That was very cool. Very cool ceremony before the game. And then one of the Cubs All-Stars, Anthony Rizzo, threw out the first pitch with Hawk, Billy Williams, and I think Sean Dunston was out there on the field.
Yeah, a whole bunch of guys. Eddie Vedder, Bill Murray.
Yeah.
Last pitch by Bell fouled out of play off to the left, 0-2 the count. And the All-Star Game logo for next year has the Wrigley Field marquee on top of a star. And on the marquee it says All-Star Game 2027. Now the 0-2. That's low. 1 ball and 2 strikes the count on Bell. Cubs vacating the third base position with their defensive alignment. Here's the 1-2. Swing and a miss. Strike 3 as Ray gets Bell with a changeup. Strikeouts by Cubs pitchers are brought to you by our Chicago and Northwest Indiana Hyundai dealers. 6 Ks tonight for Ray, middle 5, Twins 4, Cubs 1 on The Score, the Northwestern Medicine Cubs Radio Network.
Te encantan los jugadores. Te encanta el juego.
¡Y se fue!
Ahora puedes ser el dueño de grandes momentos del béisbol. MLB Auction te permite participar en la subasta de bates, bolas, jerseys autografiados y más, con artículos de tus equipos de grandes ligas favoritos, leyendas y jugadores agregados toda la temporada. Cada artículo es autenticado por MLB para asegurar que lo que llega directamente a tu hogar es original. ¿Quieres una parte del juego? Visita auctions.mlb.com.
The hometown kid is heading home. For the All-Star break, that is. Tigers rookie shortstop Kevin McGonigal, a native of Media, Pennsylvania, has played his way into the Midsummer Classic in Philly. At 21 years old, McGonigal is the second youngest player in Tigers history to reach the All-Star game.
The 0-2 swinging line drive, grabbed with a leap by McGonigal at short, flying through the air to the glove side.
These boys are just playing baseball.
They're playing ball.
The first? That would be Mr. Tiger himself, Al Kaline, at 20 years and 205 days back in 1955. McGonigal has been everything and more for the Tigers. He was named AL Rookie of the Month back in April, and he hasn't slowed down since. McGonigal will be joined by fellow All-Star teammates Dylan Dingler, Riley Green, and Justin Verlander. For the kid that grew up going to games at Citizens Bank Park and idolizing players like Chase Utley and Cole Hamels, this is the best kind of homecoming.
Well, we certainly served it up over the plate. This is a burger fit for a home run king, the 99 burger in honor of Aaron Judge. They sell a bazillion of these at Yankee Stadium. It looks pretty good. I feel like we passed the test. What about you?
I think so.
On Friday, July 31st, the Cubs take on the Yankees at 1:20 in the afternoon. Up to the first 5,000 early arriving fans of the Budweiser bleachers. 21 and older will receive a Cubs 1960s replica jersey presented by Budweiser. Be sure to arrive early as Carson Kelly looks at a fastball for a strike right along the outside edge from Bailey Ober, the Twins right-hander. Minnesota with a 4-1 lead. Ober, the kick and pitch, and Kelly hits one on the ground to third, fielded behind the bag by Lee. Throw across in time. Kelly's retired, 1 away here in the bottom of the 5th inning.
That's right. I think for the Cubs early, they didn't get to Ober like they wanted to. They had some chances in the first 2 innings. And then this, him settling in with his off-speed stuff and locating it has been a little different ball game from the first 2 innings.
So here's Dansby Swanson. It's the first time he's hitting tonight since getting that ball off the face. The pitch is taken for a strike. That was a slow-moving breaking ball from Ober, 0-1.
And we're coming to you live all season long from the Invesco QQQ broadcast booth, proud partner of the Chicago Cubs.
Swanson swings and misses at a fastball. The count is 0-2. Swanson was at second base on a ground ball hit to Michael Busch at first. His throw to second appeared to be screened by the runner sliding into second base and nailed Swanson apparently in the mouth. 0-2 the count. Here's the pitch. Swanson hits one on the ground. Diving stop to his left by Lee. Up on his feet, throw to first. In time to get a hustling Swanson. Close play. A nice play by Lee. 2 away.
Well, that's a big-time play. He goes hard to his left, lays out for this ball, makes the catch, and then you've got to have an extremely strong arm and a great transfer of the ball from glove to hand and get a good grip. A four-seam grip he does and throws a bullet to get the speedy Swanson.
Brooks Lee with a big-time play at third. 2 down here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Minnesota 4, Cubs 1. Here's Pete Crow Armstrong. He's 0 for 1 with a walk, stolen base, and a run scored. Ober delivers. Crow Armstrong hits a little looper, caught at second by Clemens. Cubs go down in order here in the 5th. We head to inning number 6. Twins leading the Cubs 4-1 on the score. The Northwest.
There's the tic-tac-toe game. He's got it started. We'll see if Wally Joyner wants to play. Aha! Good move. Good move, Wally. That's a good move. It's a block by Lyons. Joyner now. He's going to the bottom left corner. This is Steve Blanche. He put 2 X's in on 1 turn. For the victory. Now he tells him, I cheat.
All right, Ryan, PSA dove in. Do we have them graded?
We do. This is the first set of graded cards from the 2024 Topps MLB Network set.
I'm so excited about this.
Yeah.
Now, they all have the same grade, or?
No.
So one of us will be like the highest graded card.
Could be. There could be multiple. So first up, we got Mark DeRosa.
Of course, D-Rose a 10 out of 10. Handsome, athletic. All right.
It all. Hardy Fiber Cement Siding is engineered for our climate. It resists cracking in the freezing cold and won't swell in the summer heat. You get the timeless beauty of wood with lasting protection and low maintenance. Your home deserves the #1 brand of siding in North America. James Hardy Building Products, siding with the Cubs. Learn more at jameshardy.com. That's jameshardy.com.
Save time every time for a great haircut. Just download the Great Clips app or check in online at greatclips.com. Great Clips. It's gonna be great.
Let's see what's on tap here in the 6th inning, sponsored by Flight by Yingling, the next generation of light beer. Cubs down 4-1 here in the top of the 6th inning. Cubs are going to need a few balls in flight. Get back in this game, Patrick. First pitch is away for a ball. Now a little check swing, and now it counts 0-2 to Clemens. Cody Clemens having a very good year. He's finally getting a chance to really play on a daily basis. And he has made the best of it. 16 bombs, 46 driven in. He fouls this one off. Counts 1-2. Beautiful night here in Chicago. We're supposed to get a little rain, and no rain here in this 8 o'clock hour, so we're hoping that it's going to stay away. Colin Ray still in the game at 85 pitches in the game so far.
Clemens hits a pop fly foul off to the left and out of play. 1 and 2, 4-1. Minnesota on top. They got all of their runs in the third inning. A run-scoring single by Trevor Larnach and a 3-run homer by Ryan Jeffers. Here's a pop-up into shallow left. Bregman going out, backpedaling, makes the catch. And Clemens is going to be out number 1. Cubs got their run in the first inning. Pete Armstrong walked and stole second. After Suzuki walked, Michael Busch singled into right field to drive in PCA. And it looked like the Cubs might score a bundle right away, but they did not score any more in that inning, nor have they scored since. 4-1 Minnesota, 6th inning with 1 away. Royce Lewis the batter, and he'll take a fastball strike from Colin Ray.
First out in the inning, sponsored by Xfinity. Reliable Wi-Fi at one price for 5 years. Xfinity, imagine that.
We're going to take a look at a little baseball history as we move along. Fly ball to right, Suzuki right there to make the catch. This date in baseball history brought to you by villageofbedfordpark.com. It's time to make history for your business in Bedford Park. Several things happen on this date. July 17, 1990, the Minnesota Twins turned 2 triple plays in one game against Boston at Fenway Park. Both were scored 5-4-3 around the horns. But what are the odds, Ron? Twice in one game. They were both started by Twins third baseman Gary Gaetti. Al Newman played second base and Kent Herbeck at first. They were all 5-4-3. And the 2 men that hit them, Tom Brunansky, the former Twin, and Jody Reed. Ground ball to second, fielded by Horner, throws to first to end the inning. And it's a 1-2-3.
Yogi Berra was an 18-time All-Star and 10-time World Series champion.
This is the only perfect game in World Series history. You ask him about it, and he would say, it ain't been done before, and it ain't been done since.
David Wells was perfect on May 17th, 1998, Beanie Baby Day.
It's not the pitcher that's calling the game, it's the catcher calling what pitch to throw.
Home plate is 17 inches wide. And so he said, well, if it's more than an inch, and it was a lot more than an inch, then it's an illegal bat.
Well, he is. He's out. Yes, sir. That is out. Look at this.
Keep it down a little, will you, please?
Okay, Yogi.
Casey Stengel and the other touring ball players met the King of England.
Of course, with my English, we had a little trouble understanding each other.
As Yogi said, when you come to a fork in the road, take it. Go to baseballhall.org to plan your visit to the National Baseball Hall of Fame and Museum in Cooperstown, New York, and catch every episode of Hall of Fame Connections on MLB.tv.
You know, in Boston, every now and then, you'll do those throwback days where you bring out the big baggy jerseys, and the baggier, the better. When I broke into the league, everybody was wearing really baggy pants, and then as the years go along, I started wearing these skinny, mini, tight pants that looked like they were painted on. So by the time I was with Boston, I really wanted to wear the baggier, the better. We just wanted to be flying around in the outfield there, having a good time.
And go Cubs go!
Baseball fans, turn your next celebration into a VIP party at Vertiport Chicago. Private hangar social and helicopter flights from $250. Book at skyparty.vip.
Bailey Ober, big right-hander, working to Seiya Suzuki. First pitch fouled away. Suzuki has walked and struck out. Ober walked the first 2 men of the game. Pete Crow Armstrong, one of them, scored the Cubs' only run, and he has not walked anybody since. And he has struck out 7. 4-1. Cubs are down by 3. Now Seiya will crack one down the left field line. That's going to be a fair ball. Bouncing into the corner. It's going to be a double for Seiya Suzuki. There's a good start. It landed in an area that Ron and I cannot see. We get blocked out by the side wall. but it had to be very close to the line, Ron.
Yeah, it is. It does get blocked out. I was expecting this ball to carom off the sidewall, but it lands just inside the line and goes right down into the corner, bouncing into that 355 sign right into the left field corner. So Suzuki with a leadoff double. Cubs need to get a couple balls in the air and hit a couple balls out of here to get back in this game.
Michael Busch, the batter. He drove in the Cubs' only run with a first-inning single. He is 1 for 2. Takes a breaking ball strike. July 17, this was the day when Joe DiMaggio's famous hitting streak of 56 games in a row was stopped.
Wow.
In Cleveland by Al Smith and Jim Bagby. Indians pitchers, there's a strike, 0-2. How about the crowd? They had 67,000 fans in Cleveland to watch that game.
You think DiMaggio had anything to do with that?
How about everything?
Right.
Lou Boudreau would have been there.
Yeah.
He was playing short. Kenny Keltner credited with 2 outstanding plays at third base. I got to know Kenny Keltner. He lived in Milwaukee when I worked there.
Really? Very good.
Very nice man. But he said I was lucky. He called them, this is a phrase they must have used for line drives back in the day. He said, DiMaggio hit a couple of blue darters.
Oh, yeah.
That was a line drive.
Right,
I said, what was that? That's a line drive.
Yeah.
And he said he hit a couple of them. And Kenny made the backhand stop on one. Here's a breaking ball down low. Isn't it a shame, though, Ron, that there's no video of the game when it stopped, nor is there any video of game number 56, which would have been the day before,
right.
and how historic that hitting streak is. I would love to see some. I would, being a radio guy, I'd love to hear a radio broadcast. Yeah. It does not exist either.
Isn't that something?
It's a shame.
Yeah, it really is.
Here's the 2-2 pitch. Outside, 3-2. Just for posterity, I'm just surprised that some producer or some film documentarian would have taken it upon himself to make sure that video was preserved for the ages, but it didn't happen. Now the 3-2, dribbled foul.
Doubles by Cubs hitters, sponsored by Southwest Airlines. Reliable, comfortable, convenient. Southwest just makes sense, and I can confirm that. I was on Southwest over the All-Star break. Thank you guys for flight to and from my vacation home in Florida.
3-2 pitch on the way to Busch. Bounce toward the middle. Charging the shortstop Gray, throws to first in time. On the play, Suzuki advances to third. Cubs trail 4-1. A runner at third with one away. And Alex Bregman at the plate. Now, Ron, normally you'd think, well, you got to get the run in, but you'd like to get the run in and also get a base hit in this spot.
Yeah, run in and some. And Derek Shelton coming out of the Twins dugout, and I think there's going to be a pitching change.
That's what it looks like. They're calling for a right-hander, if I'm reading that properly. Pitching changes by the opposition. Sponsored by Sloan, the official water efficiency partner of the Cubs and leader in smart water and commercial restroom solutions. Learn more at Sloan.
Being named to an all-star team just once in a career is an incredible feat. But for Juan Soto, that's just part of his game. For the 5th time in his career, Soto is headed back to the all-star game. Soto finished second among NL outfielders thanks to a late surge in fan voting.
Mets fans are unbelievable. I really appreciate everything that they have done for me. Seeing myself where I start in the boats and then see where I finish is incredible what they did.
It will be his 2nd start overall and his 1st all-star appearance as a New York Met. Something crazy? At just 27 years old, he is the youngest player to make the Midsummer Classic with 4 different teams. The Nationals, Padres, Yankees, and now the Mets. So how did Juan Soto celebrate? By hitting a go-ahead bomb, of course.
And a high fly ball, deep right field, right down the line. God, if it stays fair, that ball is out of here!
puedes ser el dueño de grandes momentos del béisbol. MLB Auction te permite participar en la subasta de bates, bolas y jerseys autografiados, con artículos de tus equipos de grandes ligas favoritos, leyendas y jugadores. Visita auctions.mlb.com.
Learn more at jameshardy.com.
Alex Bregman's On Deck. Cubs Who's on Deck is sponsored by TimberTech Decking and Railing. Everything wood should be. Visit timbertech.com. Pat?
Former Cub right-hander Tommy Nance has entered the game as the Twins' right-handed reliever. He inherits a runner at third with one away. The runner is Seiya Suzuki. Twins leading by a score of 4-1. And Bregman with an RBI opportunity. The infield plays back, so a ground ball just about everywhere except probably third base and first base will get a run in. But Bregman would like to get a base hit as he takes a strike from Nance. Big crowd ready to make some noise. Cubs scored in the first and have been silent ever since. Here's a drive to right, slicing foul and out of play. Bregman, a couple of strikeouts in the game. Had home runs in the last two games in Cincinnati right before the All-Star break. Leading in foul territory at third is Suzuki. The pitch to Bregman. It's a wild pitch, and here comes Suzuki to score. A wild pitch. It hit the backstop on the fly. And then it bounced high in the air, and Suzuki scored easily, and now it's a 4-2 ball game.
Now that was a breaking ball coming out of the hand, and it slips, as you said, Pat, and goes straight up in the air. It misses home plate area by a lot, and Suzuki scores the Cubs' second run easily.
That's a wild pitch. Let's see if Bregman can get on. He takes outside, 2-2. The great Billy Williams hit for the cycle on this date in Cubs history, 1966. I thought I saw him earlier tonight.
He was out at second base when they were unveiling the All-Star logo for next year's All-Star game that the Cubs are hosting.
Yep, it was against the Cardinals. Now that would have been a sweet day.
Oh, yeah.
Billy Williams undoubtedly had probably just played in another All-Star game. And now back home, hits for the cycle, and the Cubs beat St. Louis. Bregman gets knocked down, the crowd reacting, but there's no way that Nance wanted to hit Bregman there. As it is, it's ball 4. So Bregman jogs to first. And now the tying run is Ian Happ at home plate.
Yeah, it's another breaking ball. It's the slider that's up and in. And obviously, Nance having a hard time controlling the grip is what it is on his slider. It's very hot down on the field. And some guys, when they sweat, they don't like to use the rosin bag.
Happ takes a strike, 0-1. The flag's just hanging all of a sudden. Absolutely no breeze at all, which is very rare. 4-2 Minnesota leads. Happ batting left-handed, takes inside a breaking ball, 1-1.
These are the two guys Cubs really need to get going for this second half, or this final. Keep calling it the second half. It's really not the second half. The All-Star game really kind of gets pushed back, and there's only 66 after today, 65 games left in the schedule.
Swing and a foul back.
Do you catch yourself doing that? Calling it the half, I call it the halfway point, but it's not even close, really.
You're right. Numerically, you're actually closer to the 2/3 point than the 1/2 point. So yeah, I know what you're saying. You're deeper into the season than a lot of people might think we are.
It just was always close to the midway point by just, a few games, and now that's not the case.
Happ lines one into right field, a base hit. Stopping at second is Bregman. Now the Cubs have something going. A run in the bank, trailing by 2. Now 2 men on base, and the batter, Nico Hoerner.
Nico's got a couple hits in the game, so he is swinging good. Ian gets a high-hanging breaking ball, and it's a bullet to right field. Minnesota with a 3-run homer. That's what the Cubs could use right here, is a 3-run bomb in this inning.
Here's the pitch on the way to Nico, and it's a strike. The gaps are wide open for him. Both left center and right center, just the way they've deployed defensively in the outfield. Bregman away from second, Happ off of first. And Nico swings and misses, 0-2. Now he just wants to put it in play and find an opening somewhere. Nance, the bearded right-hander, comes set. He works over on the first base side of the rubber. And the 0-2. Nico pokes it foul. That was kind of a protect the strike zone swing. Not a real fierce cut, just spoiled a good pitch. Crowd ready to make some more noise. Suzuki led off the inning with a double, moved up on Bush's ground out, scored on a wild pitch, and now Bregman has walked and Happ has singled. And Hoerner trying to come through. Nico bangs it foul off to the right out of play. Looked like he was taking a shot at right or right center.
Yep, he definitely was. That was a good breaking ball down and away, and a very good swing by Nico. He was right on that slider at the bottom of the zone at the knees. The outside corner, good swing by Nico. I think you're right. Love to see him get that same pitch again.
Here's the ground ball to the right side. The second baseman, Clemens, goes to second. Just in time. Very close play. Happ called out at second. Hoerner safe at first. Bregman goes to third. Happ is still standing on the bag at second. Boy, that's a close play.
Yep, very close. Yeah, just get him by probably a couple inches before Ian gets to the bag.
So 4-6 on the putout.
Gray really didn't come across the bag like a first baseman. He was more thinking about turning a double play, and that almost cost him. Ian hustling into second base.
Now Bregman at third, Hoerner at first. Conforto the batter. Hoerner dancing and running at first. The pitch hit in the air. Deep left center. Drifting back is Keyshawn. And Keyshawn makes the catch on the track to end the inning. No wind at the moment. Cubs get a run, 1 hit, make it 2 hits, and they leave a couple. We go to the 7th inning. It's the Twins 4.
All your favorite games from MLB Play are back. Bigger, bolder, and better than ever. Test your skills with daily puzzles like MLB Pickle, the ultimate mystery player challenge, and Immaculate Grid, where stats and strategy collide. Then in Spinball, build your roster, take on your friends, and compete for the weekly prize. Or be the first to beat the streak and hit your way to the $5.6 million jackpot. Plus, the all-new Daily Walk-Off. Lock in your players by category for the walk-off win. The game's official home for games is MLB Play. Only on the MLB app and MLB.com.
There's a shot deep to left. Way back. Kiss it. Goodbye. Home run for Andre Dawson. It's across the street, and the scramble is on.
And it looked like the mailman got it. Andre Dawson delivering the mail, and the mailman getting the baseball.
And you better not mess with the U.S. mail.
We play in Toronto. Guerrero sends over some good stuff for the guys, so when we play in Toronto, I definitely dive into that.
You gotta be careful with Vladdy, bro, because a Dominican breakfast will put you to sleep, bro. ¿Cómo está sonando la comida dominicana ya?
La comida dominicana ya no sé cómo está sonando, porque obviamente mi esposa me cocina. O sea, hay restaurantes, pero no voy a comer comida latina.
Puedes ser el dueño de grandes momentos del béisbol. MLB Auction te permite participar en la subasta de bates, bolas y jerseys autografiados, con artículos de tus equipos de grandes ligas favoritos, leyendas y jugadores. Visita auctions.mlb.com.
Learn how much better your Wi-Fi life can be at Eero.com.
With former Cub and All-Star Ron Coomer, Pat Hughes at Wrigley Field. We move to inning number 7. Drew Pomeranz, the tall left-hander, now pitching for the Cubs. Zach Zaidman working alongside. He will chime in every now and again on the out-of-town scoreboard. And Paul Zaranger, great engineer at the controls. Warm summer night at Wrigley. 4-2 Minnesota leading. 7th inning is underway. First pitch by Pomeranz is in there for a strike. Austin Martin is a pinch hitter. He is batting for Rodin.
Pitches the ball, count is 1-0.
First pitch a ball. It was challenged and the call overturned as the batter thought it was out of the zone. It was called a strike and the count is 1-0. Austin Martin swings and fouls it back. Twins begin the post-All-Star break portion of the year 1 game below 500. Cubs are 12 games above. Milwaukee and Miami tied at 1, it looks like, in the 8th inning up at American Family Field. Is that right, Zach? 1-1? Each team got a run in the 5th inning.
Yeah, they're in the top of the 8th now.
Cubs 5 games behind the Brewers. Remember, the Brewers got swept in Pittsburgh right before the All-Star break. Here's a pitch fouled away off to the right.
And Cubs pitching changes. They're sponsored by James Hardy Building Products, siding with the Cubs.
Twins got all of their runs in the 3rd inning. Here's a bouncing ball foul toward third. 4 straight batters scored the runs. If you missed it, Luke Keyshaw had an infield single. Tristan Gray reached on an error. There was also a fielder's choice on the play with both men advancing. Then Trevor Larnach singled to drive in a run, and Ryan Jeffers drilled a 3-run homer. Here's a pitch down low, ball 4 to Austin Martin, and it's a leadoff walk here in the 7th inning. Before the next man bats, 10 for ID on the score, and the Northwestern Medicine Cubs Radio Network.
Cubs Talk with Mully and Haw, mornings 5:30 to 10 on 104.3 The Score and the Northwestern Medicine Cubs Radio Network, WSCR, WSCR-FM, and HD1 Chicago.
Martin to be held by Bush at first. Pomeranz leisurely makes a pickoff throw over to keep him close to the bag. St. Louis at Arizona. They'll start later on. The runner goes. The pitch low. That's a stolen base. Huge jump by Martin. The catcher, Kelly, didn't even come up out of his crouch. That's how big the jump was by the base runner.
Now Martin can fly. He had probably 5 good steps before Pomeranz was going towards home plate even.
So a man at second and nobody out. Ball 2 outside, 2-0 to Keyshaw.
Coming to you live all season long from the Invesco QQQ broadcast booth, proud partner of the Chicago Cubs.
Pitch taken high, 3-0. Pomeranz a little wobbly, walked a man, and now 3-0 on the next hitter. The Twins, the number 1 team in Major League Baseball in hitting with men in scoring position. Fastball is high for ball 4. So 2 walks issued by Drew Pomeranz. And it brings up the number 9 hitter, Tristan Gray. Tommy Hotovy to the mound. And since he's the number 9 hitter, Ron, I'll tell you what would not surprise me would be a sacrifice bunt.
Absolutely. You got a 2-run ball game. You know, the thing is, though, you got to make sure Pomeranz, if you're the Twins, you got to make sure he's throwing strikes. But that would not surprise me at all, the way this Twins team plays and hitting, as you just mentioned, with runners in scoring position. You put 2 more out there. You know, they play a different brand of baseball. They're not looking to just hit the big 3-run homer, even though today they got one. But they're doing it, you know, they're just doing it a lot of different ways to score runs.
Let's see how the Cubs position their defense. Bregman looking into the dugout as if to say, where do you want me to play? Meanwhile, a pinch batter is up, Ryan Kreidler. Kreidler, a right-handed batter. The corner infielders move in, looking and anticipating a bunt, it would appear. Here's the pitch to Kreidler. He did not show bunt and takes low and inside for ball 1.
Yeah, he was looking to swing all the way. He got a slider down and in his back foot. Kreidler hitting just under 260 for the year.
The next pitch, base hit to left. Around third is Martin heading home. The throw by Happ is not in time. Throw to third base is not in time there. And going to second on the play is Kreidler, and Minnesota leads 5-2, and they've got men at second and third with nobody out.
Once again, it goes right back to what you were talking about, Pat. This is a hard hit, 2-hopper through the left side of the infield, and their speed, the Twins, score the run. The throw goes all the way to home through the cutoff man. He actually threw it high over Bregman, and because of that, everybody moves up 90 feet.
So Minnesota now leading 5-2. Nobody out, and men at second and third. And Trevor Larnach, the leadoff man, stepping in. Lefty to lefty, Larnach will take low for ball 1.
The challenge this pitch. Ball strike challenge sponsored by Northwestern Medicine. Kelly thought this was a strike. We'll see. It was called a ball.
And it's a good pitch. A good challenge by Kelly. This is a big spot in this game. Nobody out, 2 walks, and now an RBI single by Kreidler. Cubs infield in all the way around, lefty to lefty. The pitch fouled away by Larnach. And if you're Pomeranz, you really need a strikeout right now.
Made a good pitch to Larnach with that last breaking ball. He was way out front. Barely got a piece of it. I'd go back to that hook one more time.
Pomeranz, the big left-hander, comes set, but the batter not ready. He calls time. We'll be right out here again tomorrow afternoon for the middle game of this 3-game series. Starts at 1:20. Taj Bradley against Matthew Boyd. Curveball drops low. Sunday, the series finale. Right-hander Zebby Matthews pitching for Minnesota. Shota Imanaga for the Cubs. Now the 1-2. Larnach fouls it at the plate and will do it again.
He's barely got a piece of that one, and then off the glove of Kelly. Either that or hit him in the chest protector, maybe.
Gavin Hollowell is throwing in the Cub bullpen. Again, the Cub infielders play in all the way around. The left-handed batting Larnach waits, and the pitch fouled away. Pomeranz needs a strikeout or some kind of a weak ground ball.
Yeah, Cubs playing the infield in. They're going to cut the run down at the plate. I would not think the runner at third would be going on contact.
The 1-2. Drilled to deep right down the line, curling foul and back out of play. He hit it a ton, but he pulled it foul by about 40 feet.
No, that ball was well struck. It ended up on the Sheffield Avenue, but it was hooked foul.
Pomeranz with a brand new ball, ready for the 1-2 pitch. Low and outside, 2-2. The pinch hitter Martin walked and stole second. Keyshaw walked. The pinch hitter Kreidler drove in a run with a single. Runners at second and third, a run in. The next pitch, line toward first, caught by Bush. The runners hold at second and third. That's out number one. That's as good as a strikeout.
Yeah, good pitch in on the fists and gets the little jam shot right at Michael Bush. And that'll bring out Craig Counsell.
Greg is going to make a pitching change. He's going to bring in a right-hander, so we will take a timeout. And we'll be right back in a moment. You are listening to The Score. Cubs pitching changes sponsored by James Hardy Building Product.
We have a couple things out here for the first acknowledged unassisted triple play. And Cy Young said, "Neil, where you going?" He said, 3 outs.
Neil Ball had a fairly short career as a big leaguer, but continued playing in the minors where he encountered true baseball royalty.
Now we're going to connect to Babe Ruth.
He dominated the game like no one else had before.
I'm holding Babe Ruth's bat.
During a 1934 baseball barnstorming tour of Japan, Ruth faced 17-year-old pitcher Eiji Sawamura. Sawamura became a hero in Japan, and the Nippon Professional Baseball League's version of the Cy Young Award bears his name. Maeda won the award in 2010 and again in 2015, when the runner-up was Shohei Ohtani.
First pitch crushing! Oh, man!
Like the 3 outs of a triple play. It all connects. Go to baseballhall.org to plan your visit to the National Baseball Hall of Fame and Museum in Cooperstown, New York, and catch every episode of Hall of Fame Connections on MLB.tv.
Been that way ever since the 5th inning when Joey Ortiz hit his 4th home run of the year to even things up for Milwaukee. After 8 in Atlanta, the Braves all over the Rangers, 15-1. Drake Baldwin with a 3-run home run in that game. Pat?
All right, Zach, thank you. Ryan Jeffers batting. Gavin Hollowell, the new Cubs right-handed pitcher, infield in, runners at second and third. Minnesota leading 5-2. We're in the top of inning number 7 with one away. The first pitch outside, ball 1. Jeffers had the big blow, a 3-run homer back in the 3rd. And the next offering. Bouncing ball to third. That's going to be foul. You can tell the runner at third, Keyshaw, trying to get a big jump.
The big difference, now that there's 1 out, he will be going on contact.
A ball and a strike on Jeffers. Hollowell, the right-hander, with the infield in, delivers. Breaking ball is down low, and it's 2-1.
Hollowell with that big sweeping 3-quarter delivery breaking ball. Big tall guy kind of steps at the hitter on the right side and then throws a big roundhouse hook.
Now the 2-1. Check swing. He might have swung. He did. He fooled him on a good breaking ball. Now it's 2-2. 7th inning stretch right around the corner, sponsored by the Volvo XC90. Room for everyone. Ready for wherever the road takes you. Now the 2-2 from the Cub right-hander Hollowell. Here it comes. Fastball, strike 3 called. And Jeffers knew it. He was looking breaking ball all the way, and a fastball froze him.
He got fooled badly by the breaking ball, and then, as you said, Pat, looking for that big sweeping hook. Cubs buzz him right at the top of the zone. He was not looking heater.
Josh Bell, the designated hitter, batting. 2 down, minutes second and third. This is a big plate appearance in this game. Cubs are down by 3. We're in the 7th inning. They don't want to fall any further behind. And now the 0-1. Bell swings and misses. 0-2. What's on your mind, Ron?
I like the high fastball. I think you upshoot him with the heater and see if you can get a punch out.
The crowd wants to see a punch out as well. The 0-2 pitch from Hollowell. Swing and a miss, strike 3. The Twins get a run, but they leave 2 men on base. It's time for the 7th inning stretch. It's a 5-2 lead in favor of Minnesota. Billy Branch.
Hey, Chicago, I'm a blues man, and our motto is, the louder you are, the better we play. So let's hear some noise for the Cubs today. A 1, a 2, a 3. Take me out to the ball game. Take me out with the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jacks. I don't care if I never get back. Let me root for the Cubbies. If they don't win, it's a shame. And it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game. Let's get some runs.
Hey Cubs fans, it's Matthew Boyd. Listen to every game here on the show.
If you're feeling crabby, check out some of these wild and weird moments from around the league.
Since going to tag out Bowers, who had the crab crawl back toward first base.
Is this 1-1-1-3 on the putout?
Of course, catching it is one thing.
Whoa!
Go through the 5-hole?
Yeah, it sure did.
Now that's what you call really struggling.
Now let's see some animal instincts on display in the field.
Nico! Behind
Carson Kelly will lead off the bottom of the 7th inning. And still kind of buzzing after the singing of Take Me Out to the Ball Game by Billy Branch. Nice to see the great Eddie Vedder here tonight. Carson Kelly will try to crank up a Cubs rally in the bottom of this 7th inning. First pitch from the right-hander Nance is low and outside, ball 1.
When you have somebody in the crowd or anywhere you're at and you're expected to sing and someone like Eddie's in the room, it's just, you know what I mean? A
little intimidating.
It's just touch, just a touch.
Kreidler stays in at shortstop after his pinch hit RBI single. And Martin stays in the game in right field after his pinch running, which resulted in a stolen base and a run scored in the top of the inning. So Martin in right, Kreidler at short. Rogers, the right-hander, fires. This ball is bounced slowly to short. Going to be a tough play. Kreidler will throw to first to get him. Kelly just did not get out of the box, which is very common, Ron, when you get jammed. It kind of pushes you back a little and really delays you from getting out of the box.
Yeah, first of all, you got to check inventory, make sure you didn't lose a thumb.
Yeah.
We've had a couple of those tonight. But it does. It's, for the right-handed hitter, it's just not good. And you end up losing probably 2 or 3 steps, and you just never get going, it seems like. Kelly thrown out by a few steps at first.
Nance still on the mound. Rogers warming up in the bullpen, but it's Nance still pitching. The right-hander fires. Dansby swings and misses. The count 1-1. Twins on top 5-2. Swanson nothing for two, hit into a double play and grounded out. Swings and misses. The count 1-2. See if Dansby can get on. You've got Pete Crow-Armstrong on deck. And you kind of get the feeling the Cubs are going to need a long ball, maybe two, to win this game, Ron.
Yeah, I would agree. It's perfect night for it.
But you'd like them to be multi-run home runs. Breaking ball outside 2-2.
Just a couple good quality at bats, get some runners on and put a little pressure on this Twins bullpen. Now they have been the league leader in hitting with runners in scoring position, but the bullpen has had its struggles.
Swanson swings and misses. He got fooled on a curveball. Took kind of a half swing, and that's going to be out number 2. And the Twins are going to make another pitching change. They're going to bring in a left-hander from the bullpen, it would appear. Pitching changes by the opposition. Sponsored by Sloan, the official water efficiency partner of the Cubs and leader in smart water and commercial restroom solutions. Learn more at sloan.com.
I feel like food and sharing a meal with someone is a universal language. You can't go to a ballpark and not have a nice hot dog. So if I'm at the ballpark, I'm gonna get a nice heavy glizzy. You gotta have chili on there, you gotta have cheese. If your hot dog isn't bending in the middle because it's like about to fall apart, then you're not doing it right. So you gotta have a glizzy and then something cold, whatever it is, beer, lemonade. You gotta have something cold to wash that hot dog down with.
Vargas 1 for 3, 1-0. Vargas hits it deep to left center. This one's got some carry, and it's gone. Eldemaro Vargas gets one back. Well, you're the DH. You're supposed to be the hitter, and he's been hitting a single and a run scored in the second, and a 2-out homer in the 7th, his first of the year. That went 431 feet.
109 miles an hour off the bat. That's a momentum breaker right there.
He's the ultimate argument for the 26-man roster.
Puedes ser el dueño de grandes momentos del béisbol. MLB Auction te permite participar en la subasta de bates, bolas y jerseys autografiados, con artículos de tus equipos de grandes ligas favoritos, leyendas y jugadores. Visita auctions.mlb.com.
Now in the Minnesota Twins bullpen, comes into the game and he's on the mound, and he'll face Pete Crow-Armstrong. Cubs trailing 5-2, nobody on base, 7th inning. Pete walked, stole a base, and scored a run in the first. Since then he has struck out and popped out. Right now he would like to just get on base. You've got a guy with power on deck, Suzuki. First pitch to Pete's a strike, a good curveball.
Yeah, Rogers, big, tall left-hander. Gives you that sidearm delivery.
Yeah, the 0-1. Pete hits a pop fly right side. The second baseman, Clemens, is going to make the catch. And the inning comes to an end. Cubs don't score. It's on to the 8th inning. Twins 5, Cubs 2 on the score, and the Northwestern Medicine Cubs Radio Network.
Coming off AL Player of the Week honors, where he hit over 400 with 3 homers, Bobby Witt Jr. was all gas, no brakes.
And grounded inside the bag and up the line. Played poorly off the sidewall by Carpenter. How far will Bobby go? And Vance Wilson is going to let him come to the plate. He is in there.
To say Bobby is on a tear is an understatement. His gap-to-gap power and that lightning speed have him among the major league leaders in hits, stolen bases, and WAR. He also just happens to be one of baseball's premier defensive players.
Goodness, that's why he's one of the best in the game.
That is how you win a Gold Glove in back-to-back seasons, and last year earned a Platinum Glove.
Baseball fans are bearing witness to something special.
He's their go-to guy in all situations, whether it's defensively, offensively, running the bases. Complete player.
A primetime player in his prime.
So without further ado, snap on your time goggles and prepare to zoom 1,000 years into the future. The D-backs are still the D-backs, though now they're represented by a robotic techno-snake, and the Cubs have embraced their future amongst the stars, now being represented by Ursa Major. Minneapolis was the first to establish relations with our extraterrestrial friends. The Rays are the cosmic rays flying through space in their devil ray-shaped spacecraft.
WSJ.
Comes down 5-2 here in the top of the 8th inning, and this 8th inning is sponsored by Cars for Kids. 877 Cars for Kids. That's Cars of the K to donate your car today, Patrick.
Attendance tonight, big crowd, just shy of 40,000, 39,855. And Zach Zaidman is in fact the winner. Very close. Ron, you were close at 40,000 plus. But Zach is the winner. I was going to protest, but I did some quick adding, and sure enough, he's the winner. Fair and almost square.
He's giving himself a standing ovation in the back. That's good.
He was very close, really. He was off by 45 fans, almost suspiciously close.
Yeah.
How do you react to those charges, Zach? Here's a pitch to Cody Clemens. It's taken down low.
I would say I'm spot on.
Spot on, you were. Ryan Rollison is the new left-handed pitcher for the Cubs. 5-2, Minnesota leading in the 8th. Frustrating night for the Cubs. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Good play, good pitch by Rollison. He gets the first man he faces.
First out in the inning, sponsored by Xfinity. Reliable Wi-Fi at one price for 5 years. Xfinity. Imagine that. Cubs pitching changes are sponsored by James Hardy Building Products. Siding with the Cubs.
Clemens strikes out. He's 0 for 4. The batter, Royce Lewis. Lewis 0 for 3 with a pair of strikeouts. First pitch in there for a called strike. 0-1. Cubs in the bottom of the inning will have Suzuki and Bush and Bregman. And if they are going to come back and win, they'll need some more hitters after those 3. There is a foul off to the right out of play. That ball landed on the roof, and then it rolled back tantalizingly and fell into the stands. The crowd always reacts. There's a foul at the plate, 0-2. Day games over the weekend. 1:20 tomorrow and Sunday. And the 0-2 to Lewis. Just a little bit outside. 1-2.
Well, a pretty good pitch there. 97-mile-an-hour heater at the knees on the outside corner. Just missed.
Two balls and 2 strikes on Royce Lewis. Tall, long-legged left-hander Ryan Rollison ready to go to work, but the batter not ready. A couple of more things on this date in baseball history. The great Bob Gibson became the second pitcher in big league history to record 3,000 strikeouts on this date in 1974. Wow. Here's a bouncing ball to the left side. 2 hops to Swanson. Gloves it, throws to first to get him. And that's out number 2.
Hopper, nice play by Dansby. Lewis looked like he came up a little. I don't know if his legs are bothering him. In the second half going down the line, he didn't run that hard. But you never know what's going on with a guy because he came out of the box hard and then kind of slowed down.
2 down, Brooks Lee, the batter. First pitch in for a strike. The next pitch lined into left field, a one-hopper. It's a base hit for Lee. Sharply hit ball between the third baseman Bregman and the shortstop Swanson. It's a 2-out single, and the batter is Martin.
Now a little breaking ball, and this ball gets hammered between short and third. 2-out single. See if Rolison can get this final out and get the Cubs back in there to hit.
Rolison, the left-hander, working from the stretch. Austin Martin at the plate. Pickoff throw, they almost got him.
Pretty good move there to the hanging of that right leg from the left-hander Rolison. That's about as good a move as I've seen him have.
Here's the next pitch. There's a good fastball on the outside corner. 0-1.
You love seeing a guy be able to make a good move to first and have an effective move and then be able to throw a good quality strike right after.
There's a dribbler toward third, foul. Rolison Run has done a good job. 32 games.
Yeah.
His ERA is impressive, 2.80. And his win-loss record even more impressive, 5-1.
Yeah, he's been one of those guys that's taken the opportunity here with the Cubs in his run win.
5-2 Twins, 8th inning, 2 down, a man at first. The runner goes. The pitch curved low, throw to second base, one hop throw, and it's in time. The inning is over. Will the Twins challenge the call? It was a close play.
Yeah, we're going to hold on. Very
Derek
close.
Shelton, the manager, is he going to challenge? He will.
Yeah, they're going to challenge.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah, I am not either.
Very close play. A foot first slide. And a one-hop throw.
I'll call it second base.
Swanson made the quick tag. And we're going to take another look, Ron, and you tell me what you see.
I thought he beat the throw to second base, but that doesn't always mean the guy's safe. Wow, he could be out. He might have been popping up before he hit the bag, actually. Boy, that's closer than I thought. I thought it was going to be safe by a little more than that, and he could be out. I actually think he's out at second.
It was Nico Horner who took the throw.
Yeah.
I might have said Dansby. It was Nico.
Great job by Nico letting that ball carry and then snapping the tag down. Cubs infielders are coming off the field. They know he's out at second. I agree with him.
And they are taking a second look. When they take a second look, it's a reminder a second opinion is always a good idea. Get yours at Northwestern Medicine. He was out. The inning is over. 2-4 caught stealing. It's on to the bottom of the 8th inning. Twins 5, Cubs 2 on the score, and the Northwestern Medicine Cubs Radio Network.
The Cubs.
How about a look at some of the best bloopers from All-Star games past?
Watch the reaction of John Kruk. Heart is palpitating a bit.
Don't throw the ball away! Oh, Leo! Give me the ball!
It's hard to tell whom he frightens more, opposing batters or teammates.
He did it again!
And batter beware.
Take a look at Whitaker. That's a marking pencil. Pretty good one.
And Guerrero, there goes half the bat the other way, and it takes out Tommy Lasorda.
But these stars are better suited for shining plays.
Watch this one.
Spectacular play.
Long throw, Frank Thomas, terrific play.
Perfect teamwork.
Up and caught. Oh, what a catch by Hunter.
It is a home run. One of the biggest home runs that's ever been hit.
There it is. The first grand slam
you're gone.
Ozzie gets the force.
How about that?
And here's Schwarber. Schwarber grounded out his first time up. That ball's crushed deep to right field. Hernandez doesn't even move. It is long gone. It's off the roof of the pavilion in right field. Kyle Schwarber, his first postseason home run of the year. It's his 22nd of his career. And with a lightning strike, the Phillies tie it up at 1.
Well, I would say Kyle's second time through, I like the approach.
Wow. Well, the first home run for the Phils this postseason.
Of an MLB fan seeing it all. The MLB Journey to 30 sweepstakes presented by T-Mobile is the ultimate bucket list. Enter now for your chance to win trips to all 30 ballparks. Yes, all 30. MLB.com/Journey to 30 sweeps. Pat?
All right, Zach, a new pitcher in the game from Minnesota, right-hander Andrew Morris. 38 games. Morris, 4 wins, 2 losses. His ERA, 3.3. Cubs need a rally, and they need it very soon. We're in the bottom of the 8th inning. 5-2, Twins on top. Suzuki takes up and in, ball 1. Crowd reacting, but there's no way that Norris wants to hit a batter. Morris ready for the 1-0 to Seiya. Suzuki 1 for 2 of the walk, fouls it away.
Seiya put a big swing on that one. He wanted to hit that one in the Lake Michigan. Opponent's pitching changes sponsored by Sloan, official water efficiency partner of the Chicago Cubs and leader in smart water and commercial restroom solutions. Learn more at Sloan.com.
Seiya taking a strike. Seiya challenging that call. He thought it was down low, I believe.
Ball strike challenge sponsored by Northwestern Medicine. Let's see what this one ends up. Pitch down and away.
And it was a strike. So the count is 1-2. Cubs have trailed ever since the 3rd inning in this game. Here comes the 1-2. Driven in the air to left center. Converging are Kishal, and Kishal makes a sliding backhand catch on the warning track in deep left center. Larnach, the left fielder, not really in the picture. It was either Kishal or nobody, and he made a sliding backhand catch. A sprawling effort. Very nice play.
Yeah, this ball hangs in the air a long time, and Keyshaw goes after this ball and gets to it in pretty good shape and then ends up sliding.
1 away. Here's Michael Busch. Cubs need base runners. Trailing by 3 as Busch takes a strike. Keyshaw had a long way to go to get to that ball. Never took his eye off it. The 0-1, a check swing. Did he go? No swing. Cubs trying to battle back in the bottom of the 8th inning. Here's the 1-1. Ground ball toward third and foul. He got jammed. Hit it the other way. 1-2.
Catch of the game. That's sponsored by Catch Des Moines. The Iowa State Fair is back. Oh, isn't it? August 13th through the 23rd. Catch the fair spirit, as Mr. Hughes always does. Plan your trip to iowastatefair.org. Woo!
Well, I would love to go. Here's the 1-2 pitch on the way to Busch. It's outside, but baseball, and I have a daughter who's getting married in August, so this doesn't look like the best time to go to the State Fair. But Ron, on the other hand, now you do have some days coming off.
Yeah, well,
days off coming up.
You're going to be gone, so one of us has to be in the old ballpark.
That's a good point. Here's the ground ball to first, fielded by Lewis. Shovels to the pitcher, Morris on the bag, score that one 3-1, and that's out number 2.
But for, maybe a year's supply of steak to Burgos, I might be interested. You know that old saying, someone I know says it a lot.
Make me an offer.
There you go, bingo.
2 down. That was a year's supply of steak to Burgos.
Well, if you're going to if you're going to start negotiating, you might as well start high.
Bregman, the batter, he'll take a strike.
Bregman's the cleanup hitter tonight, sponsored by Chicagoland's appliance leader, Grand Appliance. Get your All-Star Kitchen at Bosch Kitchen today, grandappliance.com.
But I know you would meet some nice people over there, Ron, in Des Moines. Now, you've been to a state fair before. I'm not sure you've been to the Iowa State Fair. You've been to the Minnesota
State Fair a lot. We used to do our shows from there.
How did that go?
Interesting. Yeah, very interesting. Did you ever, you said you've never been to a state fair. So in Minnesota, our stand where, with Fox, was right next to a food stand. And they used to sell those great big turkey drummies, like the leg, the great big ones, like you get on Thanksgiving. And people would walk around with that drummy in their hand and eating it.
Sounds like you needed a hand sanitizer.
Or a gallon of five.
The 1-2 pitch.
Gallon thing.
Low outside, 2-2 on Bregman.
But it was always interesting when somebody would want to shake your hand and had the drummy in the other hand. And, a good 5, 6, 8, 10 beers in them. It's always entertaining.
Sounds very inviting when you put it that way, Ron. Now the 2-2 to Bregman. A bouncing ball to second base. Routine for Clemens. He'll throw to first in time. Cubs offense just not able to get things going in this game. We go to the 9th inning. It's 5-2 Minnesota.
The first thing people realize is the history of Montgomery, and that history is real. So while that history is in the past, it also helps us move forward in a positive way.
Just like a lot of other of the 120 minor league teams, the baseball is not what we do, right? The Tampa Bay Rays do a phenomenal job of sending amazing athletes here, and we let them handle the baseball, and we handle everything outside the line.
Well, this is the most famous jersey in baseball, right? The Yankee pinstripes, the interlocking NY, and the midnight navy. I was a Yankee fan growing up my whole life, die hard, and became a free agent after 7 years with the Rockies, and I wanted to be a Yankee so bad. Putting this jersey on for a headshot for the first time, it felt different than any other shirt I'd ever put on in my career.
Reliable Lake Michigan water supply. Visit villageofbedfordpark.com.
The 9th inning is sponsored by Circa Resort and Casino. Get ready for the time of your life. CircaLasVegas.com as we get set for the top of the 9th here at Wrigley Field. Twins 5, Cubs 2. Pat?
All right, Zach. 9th inning indeed. Tyler Ferguson, right-hander on the mound for the Cubs. And he'll face Austin Martin. Right-hander to right-hander. Martin had a base on balls as a pinch batter back in the 7th inning and scored a run. Cubs with single runs in the 1st and 6th innings. Cubs scored on a single by Michael Busch in the 1st and on a wild pitch in the 6th inning. But so far it is not enough as they trail 5-2 9th inning. The 1-1 to Martin. Drilled down the left field line, foul. One of those where the umpire is ducking out of the way and then turns his head to make the fair or foul call.
Yeah, this ball right over the head of Mark Wegner at third and hooking and ends up foul by about a foot.
Twins played very good ball before the All-Star break. They won 10 of their final 15 before the break. So they've been a hot team. Check swing. It's a strike, and that's going to be strike 3. Big roundhouse curveball from Ferguson, and he gets the strikeout. Strikeouts by Cubs pitchers. Brought to you by your Chicago and Northwest Indiana Hyundai dealers.
Had some tough plays in this game tonight. They're sponsored by Loyola Medicine. Loyola Medicine defines tough.
Keyshaw, the batter, he'll take a strike. Keyshaw made a nice defensive play. And he's also been on base 3 times with 2 singles and a walk. Here comes the 0-1. Fly ball to center. Should be playable for Pete Crow Armstrong. 2 down. Glancing to the bottom of the 9th inning. Cubs are going to need some base runners immediately. Ian Happ will lead off, then Nico Horner and Michael Conforto. Those are the first 3 scheduled. Now Ferguson, the right-hander, going to work on Kreidler. Ryan Kreidler had a run-scoring single as a pinch batter in the 7th inning. He pops one up into shallow right. Suzuki is there, makes the catch. We go to the bottom of the 9th inning. Cubs need a rally as they trail 5-2 on the score, and the Northwestern Medicine Cubs.
What is something that you snack on that you don't worry about?
I love Uncrustables. I could eat like 10 of them in one sitting.
And no regard for his body? I don't even wait till it thaw out.
Hey, put them in a toaster next time. Just toast it, yep. It'll change your life.
Yeah, just an incredible play by Riley Green.
You are an all-star on the field and off, bro.
I appreciate it.
Hey,
thank you.
Riley Green, bro, food genius.
I'm helping these kids be the best versions of themselves, and I'm also representing like where I came from. And in the Zilla team, I was working with a creative guy that was with Nike. I work with my best friend who manages this team with me, and we kind of just like put together like what we think would look cool. We went like Godzilla theme. You kind of get to help them grow up into a young man and help them just make the right steps forward. And that's really why I started it, to have impact.
Driven to right and deep. That's overturn Ward's head. And he makes a circus catch and disappears. That'll be on a highlight film. And Turner Ward is shaken up. What a play, and leaving the field. That will be on a highlight film for a long time to come.
Consumers.org. Federally insured by NCUA.
This copyrighted broadcast is presented by authority of the Chicago Cubs and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Chicago Cubs. Pat?
The new pitcher for Minnesota, right-hander Yoendrys Gomez. Spells his first name Yoendrys. Yoendrys. Ian Happ first up. Let's see if Ian can get on base. Cubs are down by 3. Here we go, 9th inning. Ian taking a ball. It's high, 1-0.
Gomez 11 out of 11 in save opportunities.
And there is one on the line in this game. Cubs are down 5-2. Happ takes ball 2. He'll probably take until he gets a called strike on him, I would guess. Cubs need 2 men to get on base. Happ takes the strike, 2-1. 2 men to get on to get the tying run to the plate. Little surprise run considering the conditions tonight. We've seen a grand total of 1 home run between the 2 teams.
Yeah, I would absolutely agree to that.
Here's the 2-1 to Happ. Ball 3 high. And it was a big one by Ryan Jeffers of Minnesota in the 3rd. Easily the biggest hit of the game.
Yeah, that was the game changer, no doubt.
The 3-1 to Happ. Ball 4, there's a start. Are the Twins going to challenge that call? I think they are.
Yeah. Ball strike challenge sponsored by Northwestern Medicine. Let's see with this one. The pitch is down and in to Ian. See where it's at.
And that is a strike just barely. I mean, by a whisker. By a fraction of an inch.
Yeah, it's like the seam of the baseball.
So the count 3-2 on Ian Happ. Ian now tightening up the batting gloves. Leading off this 9th inning, trying to get on. Cubs trail 5-2. And the right-hander Gomez ready to work 3-2. Swinging a foul back.
Well, that's a good fastball, 97 miles an hour at the top of the zone. Ian put a good swing on it, fouled it straight back.
Very few fans have left Wrigley Field. The payoff pitch. Happ takes ball 4. There's a start. And it brings up Nico Horner. If you're Nico, since you're not yet the tying run, are you taking a strike?
I would think you'd take the first pitch maybe and make sure that you're getting strikes. He should have a big hole on the right side of the diamond. This would be a good time for Nico to try to shoot that fastball the other way.
He's got a pair of singles in the game. Gomez will fire a strike. 0-1.
Opponent's pitching change is sponsored by Sloan, official water efficiency partner of the Chicago Cubs. Leader in smart water and commercial restroom solutions. Learn more at sloan.com.
That first pitch just did hit the outside corner. Nico had singles in both the 2nd and 4th innings. Let's see if he can get on. Gomez set and fires. Here's a foul down the right field side. 0-2 on Horner. Outfield plays him straight away. Larnach, Keyshaw, and Martin in the outfield. Short lead by Happ. Horner fouls it away. That was one of those protecting type swings where you're just trying to spoil a good pitch.
Yep. Nico in this hole at bat has been looking to hit the ball in that hole on the right side. Big hole on the right side between first baseman and the second base.
He took another poke at right field and fouled this one off, Ron.
Yeah, that was a breaking ball. It's first hook he's seen in about 3 or 4 pitches, and he spoiled it. Barely got a piece of it.
Twins 5, Cubs 2, bottom of the 9th inning, nobody out, and a runner at first. And the 0-2 pitch from Gomez. Horner takes high for a ball. I kind of thought he might come inside after watching Nico pitch after pitch, trying to poke it to the opposite side.
Yeah, I would stay in there if I were Gomez, absolutely.
A set for the 1-2. And here it comes. A bouncing ball to first. Throw to second base in time. Throw back to first in time for a double play with the pitcher covering. Well, let me correct that. It was the first baseman, Lewis, who got back to the bag. 3-6-3 on the double play.
I think they're gonna challenge this play at first base.
Happ is out at second. Cubs are challenging the back end at first. And the play is under review. They're taking a second look. A second opinion is always a good idea. Get yours at Northwestern Medicine.
Oh, wow. Nico's safe by half a step. That's not even close.
This will be changed. This will be changed. Nico hustling down the line. Yeah, he's on the bag clearly before the ball is in the glove. Not really sure what the umpire Nate Tomlinson was looking at there. This will be overturned.
I think what happens on plays like that, the ball bounces, the first baseman dives for the ball towards the right, looking towards the right field corner. And it's just, I don't think he ever had a good look at it at all and just made a call.
So one away, scratch the double play. They get one on the 3-6 fielder's choice. Cubs trail 5-2, one away in the batter, Michael Conforto. And now Michael swings and misses at a sharp breaking ball. Horner, the runner at first.
Now you just need Conforto to get on. That's what you're looking for. Just one more base runner to bring that tying run to the plate.
Cubs without a home run in the game. Here comes the 0-1 to Conforto. Pulled foul sharply. First base side, 0-2. Conforto with 8 home runs for the year. Right now, like you said, Ron, he just wants to get on to get the tying run to the plate.
Wind's starting to blow finally a little harder, and it's blowing out towards right center.
Yoendrys Gomez fires. Fastball, strike 3 called. Out number 2. Conforto caught looking. He must have been looking off speed. And now Carson Kelly represents the Cubs' final chance. Cubs need Kelly to get on so that Swanson could be the tying run. Horner now not being held on at first. Crowd has quieted down as Kelly takes outside. You never know. Kelly nothing for 3, grounded out twice, struck out once. Carson looks at a strike, 1-1. Kelly just wants to find an opening somewhere. And the 1-1 to Carson. Fouled away. Cubs down to their last strike.
That's a pretty good swing on that last fastball, just a little tardy.
Oh, the Cubs up on the top step, leaning over the railing in that third base dugout. A ball and 2 strikes on Kelly. 2 down, 9th inning. Carson takes way outside, 2-2. Gomez, a full beard, giving some bubble gum a real workout. And the 1-1 to the 2-2 to Kelly is outside, ball 3. Full count. Kelly would gladly take a walk here, stealing second. Nico Horner, I don't think they'll credit a stolen base. Defensive indifference. All right, let's see if Kelly can get on. It's 3-2. Pitch on the way. Driven toward right center. On the run, Keyshaw near the track. Makes the catch. And the ball game is over. The Twins win game 1 by a score of 5-2. One of the longest drives hit by a Cub the entire night. But the wind not blowing at all. And Keyshaw made a good defensive play running catch in deep right center. He then slammed into the wall, but held on to the baseball, and that's the way the ball game ends. So Minnesota wins 5-2. We'll be back with some totals and summaries in a moment on The Score and the Northwestern Medicine Cubs Radio Network.
Cubs Talk with Mully and Haw. Mornings 5:30 to 10 on 104.3 The Score.
What defines tough? It's facing the unthinkable, standing tall. It's teamwork, resilience, precision, and compassion. At Loyola Medicine, we treat the most complex cases with unshakable resolve.